Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cantina Coffee Hour. Coffee Hour. Coffee Hour. I got the coffee. The Mandalorian and Grogu are adorning my coffee mug this morning. And it is indeed morning for me. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time, or just a little bit after that. But I know for some of you, it's afternoon, it's evening, it's nighttime, it's all hours of the day, depending on where you are located on this round spherical object that we are inhabiting as it orbits around the sun. But truly, it is great to be here. I'm glad that we were able to do a show this week and that it was Cantina Coffee Hour. And it's been a while since we've done a coffee hour. Next Friday, we will be back to normal times. Do not worry. And next Friday, we will have Jedi Lex returning. Do you guys remember Lex? She was on the show back in I think it's September, somewhere in that time frame, early this fall. But it's great to be here. It's great to see all of you guys here in the chat, everybody that is filing in here into the comments. And I'll go through those and see who is here with us this far. Just a heads up that our guest is delayed, I believe. So I will be getting things started just as I normally would. And then, if our guest is able to join at some point, we have Bearded Chris joining us today. A very cool Instagram account. I have him linked down below. As soon as he's able to get in, I will just bring him into the show. But good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming in at a special time, Saturday morning. I mean, I would say that it's as good as Saturday morning cartoons, but I mean, come on, nothing is as good as Saturday morning cartoons. Like nothing. So hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. All right, before we get started, my friends, we are going to talk about Entertainment Earth. You guys remember those vintage collection stormtroopers that were very, very, very popular and that sold out last year? And I said, hey, these are going to be the biggest selling TVC figure of 2025. Well, they're processing. My case of 8 has processed from Entertainment Earth. I am expecting that once pre-orders are filled, that they're going to have more in stock for normal purchasing. So if and when that happens, or even if it's another item that you're interested from Entertainment Earth, make sure you are using promo code Victoria right there to get you an extra 10% off your purchase. I mean, with all these snow troopers, and not just snow troopers, the 501st aren't far behind. The 501st single carded figure is going to be coming very soon. And I pre-ordered a lot of those too. So definitely make sure that, if you did the same, or like I said, if there's any other item you want that's in stock on Entertainment Earth, not pre-order, but in stock, take advantage of this promo code because every little bit helps, especially with the way prices are trending lately. Okay, we need. Next thing I want to mention is that I was a guest this week on the SWTVC finale show, which aired on Monday night. If you'd like to see that, it is on the SWTVC YouTube. Thanks again to my friends at SWTVC for hosting that live stream and for inviting me and for letting me spout off a little bit in terms of, just little internal frustrations with Star Wars Vintage Collection. But yeah, it was a good talk, and I can't wait to talk to those guys again. So that is on their YouTube channel. But today we have a range of topics to cover. InArt, we're going to talk about InArt, their very first 1/12 scale figure that went up for pre-order yesterday. We are going to cover McFarlane Batman because they are doing some interesting things for Batman that have just made news in the last day or so. We got some Hot Toys blogger photos to look at. We got some new Hot Toys Star Wars items to talk about that were just announced this week. We're going to talk about the SWTBC March Madness winner, which, as you guys know, Mara Jade won SWTBC March Madness. And then we're going to talk about this week's, the biggest news, I believe, Hasbro Star Wars reveals from their Pulse fan stream. Okay, I got some thoughts there. So we're going to talk about those. My dog is asleep in her dog bed over there under the main desk. Cute. All right, let's see who's in the chat with us thus far into I was going to say into the evening, you guys, but it's not evening, it's morning, it's coffee hour. Well, for me, it's morning, late morning. Let's see who's with us today. We got Adam in the house. Hello, Adam. Daytime in the cantina. Don't worry. Blue milk is still on tap, and a few credits will still forgive most errors of judgment. Most. Thank you for moderating, Adam. We really appreciate it. Yeah, blue milk sounds great. Hello there, Peak Obi-Wan. Good to see you, Peak Obi-Wan. And I completely agree.
Hello there.
Let's see, we've got in the house, our friend Britt is with us. Hey, Britt, good to see you, Britt, as always. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We got Rick in the house. Hello, Rick. Hey, everyone. Happy Saturday from the East Coast. Hello, hello. We have my friend Greg. Hello, Greg. How are you? Thank you for joining us this morning. Or I think it's afternoon for you, but you get the idea. Alex is with us. What's up, Alex? Good to see you. David Matthews is here. Hello. We got our friend Mary. Hello, Mary. Thank you for joining. And Greg says he is drinking coffee. Nice, nice. 17.28 is with us. Hello, hello, VC. Hello, everybody. Rabbit Hammer. Hey, Steve. Steve is an OG. Steve goes back all the way to 2013 when I first started this channel in April 2013. I can't believe it's already going to be 12 years. Yikes. It's a long time. Mitchell is joining us from the UK where it is evening. Hello, hello, Mitchell. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate that. We've got Trevor with us. Hello, Trevor. A local movie theater in town does a pajama party Saturday morning cartoon event with a cereal buffet. Ooh. Interesting. I like it. I like the idea. Scott is with us. Hello, Scott. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello, Scott. Thank you for joining. Yeah, and I guess again, welcome to everybody that is tuning in with us today. All right. As far as our topics go, like I said, there's a lot to cover, and we are about to hit the ground running here with the very first one. So, what do you guys say? Let's do this.
So the fun begins.
All right. So I mentioned a couple of minutes ago as we were going through today's topics that there's some Batman news this week, which I love Batman news, right? I love it. InArt, the company InArt, is doing their very first 1/12 scale figure. InArt, company that focuses on 1/6 scale and is very well known and renowned for those figures. Many would say that in general, that they're better than Hot Toys, which I don't own any InArt 1/6 scale. But I'm going to, because I pre-ordered their Michael Jackson figure that's coming out sometime this year, I hope. So I will own an InArt. But they really do some remarkable stuff. Lord of the Rings, DC, and the photos of their items. When you see the comparisons in photos and videos on YouTube, showing them side by side, like it's some of them, it's like really a night and day difference. So they're now going to pursue 1/12 scale, and to kick off that line, they are starting with the very first InArt 112 scale figure, which happens to be Batman from The Dark Knight Rises. Now, this has me really, really excited. You know, when it comes to the 6-inch scale, the 112 scale, I'm not huge on it for Star Wars. I mean, I do own quite a few Black Series. I do own SH Figuarts. I do own Mayfax Star Wars, pickings and choosings. But for Batman, it's pretty much strictly 6-inch these days, because that's really all they do. Any of these companies, whether it's McFarlane, Medicom Mayfax, SH Figuarts, Mezco, McFarlane's are 7-inch, which is just unnatural. But yeah, I was really, really big on the Medicom Mayfax 6-inch Dark Knight trilogy figures when they were doing those, because they did an amazing job. Mattel had that line, that license. They were good for their time, 2012, when they were doing those figures, and you know, they were nice. But Mattel never really evolved those figures, and all the way up until they lost the DC license in like 2015. No, it wasn't 2015. It was like, when was it? It would have been more recently, like 2019, somewhere in there. All the way in that time frame, they never evolved the figures. So I was looking outside of you know, globally widely manufactured figures like Mattel, and I found Medicom Mayfax. And then, you know, it was a really amazing figure, that very first Batman that they did. Just the articulation, the construction of the figure, feeling rubbery and all that was really neat, really neat. But they started doing like a 2.0, then they did a 3.0, and then they started doing all the villains, and those are great. Then SH Figuarts took a stab at them, and you know, I already had the Mayfax, so I didn't go into the Figuarts. But then of course, McFarlane started doing them in the 7-inch scale in recent years. But now, you know, InArt's, I guess, saying like, hey, wait a second. You know, we're going to give you guys something that is going to end all of those other 6-inch Batman figures from the Dark Knight trilogy that you have, because we're going to take a stab at doing our own version. And here it is, you guys. I mean, this right here, as soon as I saw the pictures, I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't even need to see comparison to know that this figure right here was going to exceed what Mayfax did, what Figuarts did. Like, it was just very, very obvious just by looking at it by itself. And then the YouTube videos started hitting this week. My friend Robo over on Robo Collects, I watched his YouTube review, and he was comparing it to some of those other figures, and it was just like, wow, like it really is an astoundingly good figure. What I always look for in terms of these like more niche, like 6-inch figures is the first thing is the likeness, right? How much does it look like the source material? Because if I'm going to pay a premium on an import figure, then I want to make sure that, you know, the product's going to speak for itself. And I mean, just looking at these images, it really does. They did an awesome job. And looking at a Robo's video, it's just very obvious to me that this is the one, like, to rule them all, so to speak. Like, this is the best ever definitive 6-inch Dark Knight trilogy Batman. Like, it's just amazing. The posing in these photos, like, I cannot wait to get this in hand. It just looks so good. And thankfully, the final product, based at least what we've seen from the YouTube videos, it looks just like this. Like, they didn't downgrade it. It looks exactly like this. Like, photography is nuts. But like the detail on the costume, the articulation system, it's awesome. And there's 2 versions of this. There's a deluxe, and there's also a regular version. The regular version, I think, just doesn't come with the unmasked head. So if you get the deluxe, you get the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, which it's only like $15 more. So I was like, come on, you got to do that. If you're already paying, I think, what was it? It was like $60. But if you're already paying that $65, like, okay, pay $15 more and get the unmasked head. But yeah, this is a crazy, like, awesome figure, and it has me really, really excited to see what else InArt has up their sleeve in terms of 112 scale. I've had some people asking, hey, Victoria, are they going to do Bane? Are they going to do Catwoman? Are they going to do the Joker? And I mean, I have no idea. I hope they do all of those. But this is their very first entry into the 1/12 scale line. So I would assume that they're going to probably go somewhere else, like to another property maybe for the next one, if this one does well. And it, by all indications, it looks like it's going to do really well, and has been doing well. It's been selling out at certain online shops. Then yeah, I think they're certainly going to keep this line going. I mean, these are going to be, if the other ones that they do hypothetically are anywhere near this good, then I don't think I would be buying any other 6-inch like DC or comic book figures from anybody. Like if they all look like this, even if you got to pay a little bit more, if it's something you really like in this case, Batman, like, come on, like it just is obvious. It makes a lot of sense. Now this is not available directly in the United States because Warner Brothers has a, you know, the way that their licensing works, McFarlane is you know, is Batman in North America. So you have to import these. Now I ordered mine through Pop Collectibles. I've heard mixed things about Pop Collectibles, but it did go up at 5 a.m. yesterday when I was like in no position to want to research like what other options there were at the time. So I just went I knew Pop Collectibles was going to have it. I pre-ordered, and then I was ready to go back to bed. Like that was the extent of it. I heard afterward other places had it too. Some have sold out. So I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, it is what it is. I already pre-ordered it. We'll see what happens. I don't mind waiting. It's going to take a little bit longer as long as I get the figure at some point. So yeah, looks great. Looks great. And I am very, very, very excited for this figure. Let's see. Steve says the InArt stuff is exciting. Overall, the Bale head looks great. I don't really love that suit though. So an easy pass, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Absolutely. Adam, Victoria, have you seen the new 1/3 scale Palpatine from Collect PC? I have not seen that. That sounds interesting. I'll have to look at that. Let's see. What else do we got here? Cool. So I think that does it for that figure there. So let's talk. We're going to stay with Batman because we got McFarlane doing Batman Returns, my favorite Batman movie. I know it's not the best Batman movie, but best and favorite are not the same things. That's the reason Empire Strikes Back isn't my favorite Star Wars movie. So yeah, McFarlane is doing what everybody thought and hoped they would do. Now, of course, McFarlane, hit and miss for me personally. Not just in terms of their product and the quality of their product, but in terms of, you know, the company itself. But come on, we don't have a lot of options for Batman Returns. And when it comes to this larger scale, in this case 7-inch, which again, I don't like 7-inch. I wish they were 6-inch. I don't know why they're 7-inch, but it is what it is. We're getting some new figures from Batman Returns, which is very rare that happens. Just looking at the photo, this comes from Instagram. This is coming from, let's see here. This is from the Burton Cave on Instagram. Theatrical Deluxe Edition. I don't know exactly what that means, that part of it. Maybe that's just what they're calling this wave. But you get Batman, you get the Penguin, you get Catwoman, and you get Max Shrek. You guys, let me say that again. Max freaking Shrek. How does that even happen? We've never had a Max Shrek figure as far as I can recall. Even when I was a kid, I was like, why didn't they make that guy? Come on, Christopher Walken as an action figure, like that is just a need. That is a bona fide need. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, give it to me. And there is a little disclaimer here. It does say that these are not final images. It says these are renders, digital renders. So, I mean, they look good. Penguin maybe looks a little odd, but Batman looks awesome proportionately. Catwoman looks great. And Max Shrek looks highlight of the wave for me, just because normally it would be Catwoman. But again, this is pretty significant, a Max Shrek action figure. So he's definitely the highlight. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there because I got something more to show you. So those weren't all that they announced that day for Batman Returns, because apparently they're also going to be giving us the Penguin Army. The Penguin Army from Batman Returns. Kenner made these back in the good old days. But now McFarlane's going to do their own version. Now, this is a 7-inch line. I assume these are going to be, what, 3 inches maybe? About 3 inches. I like what I'm seeing. What I don't know is if these are going to be like the Build-A-Figure pieces, or if these are going to be like their own, like an actual a box with all 3 penguins. That I am not sure. I don't. If that's the case, will there not be a Build-A-Figure as there was for Batman Forever and for Batman and Robin? That's what I want to know. Is there going to be a Build-A-Figure in this set? And how is that going to work? You guys, this is, again, McFarlane. I like what they've been doing overall with DC over the last year. I mean, giving us all the Batmobiles. Nobody's ever done that before, giving us all these Batmobiles in that scale. Like, that is just, I really appreciate that. So yeah, I assume that they're working their way towards Batman 89. I assume maybe we're going to get Vicky Vale. I assume maybe we're going to get other characters that we've never gotten. I mean, how cool would it be to get a Pat Hingle version of Commissioner Gordon? Like, that would be pretty darn awesome, I think. Yeah, Alexander Knox. I mean, imagine that. Like, I don't know what they would do with Batman 89. The Joker, obviously, right? Batman, obviously. But who would the other two be? Like, that's left in the open. Eckhart. I don't know. I mean, the options are it's whatever they want to do. Eckhart could be the Build-A-Figure, couldn't he? Like, that'd be something. Eckhart, think about the future. I mean, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see what else they're going to do. This is the last really year that they're going to have this license. So I expect that they're going to go all in with this little bit amount of time that they have left to milk the franchise and the license and do all the stuff that, let's be honest, Mattel is probably never going to do. Or, you know, I cannot see Mattel giving us a Max Shrek figure. I just can't. I cannot see Mattel giving us Batman and Robin figures. I mean, maybe they would, but thinking honestly, like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen, you guys. I think they're going to stick to like more recent, like core character type releases. And it's probably not going to just be a Batman focus. It's probably going to be like the whole DC. That would be my expectation. So yeah, these are really cool. But we're not, when it comes to DC, you guys, believe it or not, and McFarlane, believe it or not, we're not quite done yet.
We're not done yet.
There is one more that I want to show you that was announced within the last 12 hours. All right, now this comes from my friend Toy Shiz, who we've had on the show. A Target exclusive from McFarlane coming as part of the Gold Label series. Batman from The Dark Knight, or The Dark Knight Rises, I don't know which, on the Batpod. Now, they previously released the Batpod, and I think it came with Catwoman, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Am I misremembering? Was it just the Batpod? But Batman and the Batpod, which is kind of cool. If you didn't already have the Batpod, then, or a Batman, and you wanted one, then, well, this makes a lot of sense. But that is it. That is it this time. Those are all the Batman things I wanted to talk about today. Let's see who's what's going on in the chat. I see some comments happening. Britt says, Victoria, Batman Returns is my favorite too. Thank you. Thank you, Britt. It seems to be like something very exclusive to like a certain age range that Batman Returns is like the favorite. I don't, it's just that era, right? Like Tim Burton, right? Like, man, his late 80s, early 90s stuff, like the best. Let's see. Steve says the Forever Wave was so good, and I'm thinking these will hit the spot for me too. In the year of our Lord 2025. Yes, Britt, absolutely. Adam, I can't think of another Christopher Walken action figure other than the Headless Horseman. There you go. That is a very good point. Yeah, I'm really excited about the penguins, you guys. The little penguins. They're so cool. Alex says that is awesome. I'll be getting the penguin army. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like if it's not the Build-A-Figure, do I need more than 2? Like, if it's a box with 3 penguins in it, do I need like 2 of those? Do I need 3 of those? I don't know. Rick says the penguins are in their own package. Okay, that answers it. Now I need 3 of those sets. Britt says all the praise to the penguin, but when he doesn't have actual penguins, my heart yearns for them. Yes, I agree. Where are the penguins in the Penguin? I mean, I get why there's no penguins, I guess, but I mean, even in trying to think back to the 60s, which I didn't live during that time, but the TV show. I know that the penguin in the Batman Classic TV series had a lot of penguin themed like things, right? But did he have actual penguins? I don't think he did either. So yeah, Danny DeVito's lucky he got to actually like work with penguins. Steve says hopefully Penguin gets soft goods coat too. I wouldn't rule that out. That would be very nice if he did. Is it possible we have the Dark Jedi himself watching right now? I say yes, because 6 Scale Cantina says Victoria the 13th Skull has procured me a DX34 Artisan Anakin already shipped, baby. I can't wait to do my review on this ancient action figure this week. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. That's awesome that you're getting the Anakin early. That is super. We're going to talk about the Anakin in just a little bit. Very, very, very cool. Steve says, if so, all in the value wise, maybe it makes sense to not be a Build-A-Figure here. Yeah, that could be. Just drop the price a little bit. If you're not going to give me a Build-A-Figure, drop the. Yeah, right. They're not going to do that. Nobody does that. Eckhart is the Dodgson of Batman. I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of true, isn't it, Adam? Where is Dodgson anyway? How come I haven't seen his comments? He must be doing his shopping right now. He must be on his hunts right now. And maybe that's why he's not present. Let's see. Britt says they should make a 2-pack of Penguin and the guy whose notes he bites. The scene that scarred me as a child. Yeah, that was brutal. That was violent. That was really, really violent. Like they should do that though. Like that, I would buy that guy. I don't know why. I don't know what I'd do with him or what I put him. I would buy that guy as an action figure. Alex says, I still need the Batpod. There you go. This will be the Batpod for you then, Alex. So much iconic stuff in Batman Returns. It impacted the most as a kid. Same here. I saw Batman 89 in the theater, and I said this before, I should not have been in the theater seeing Batman 89 in 89 because I was way too little and young for that. But I was there and I was terrified of Joker, especially when he goes around like killing like the mob bosses and, spreading his poison and toxins in the museum, restaurant place, the art museum, whatever it was. But yeah, Batman Returns, I was a little bit older. And I think I as a Batman fan, I appreciated it a little bit more. And yeah, it just, so many memories with the McDonald's promotion and the toy line. The toy line is amazing. One of my favorite toy lines of all time, that Kinder Batman. We should do another show about Batman. Remember we did one last fall? We should do one of those again. What do you guys say? Should we do it? Let me know. Chad says, I'm a firm believer that Returns is the Empire Strikes Back of Star Wars. Ooh, where 89 is great, but Returns is just a little more well-seasoned. Interesting. Very interesting. You've given me something to think about, Chad. I'm going to think about that a little bit more. Not now, but later. Rick says, if Batman Returns does well for McFarlane, will they do the clown gang members as a store exclusive? I would like it. I can't see them doing it, but I would like it. Because we know sure as heck Mattel ain't going to do those clowns. They are not going to do those figures. No way. Yeah, maybe Adam says we'll see Dodgson for new acquisitions. I hope so. I hope he's able to join us for that part at least. Another Batman show? Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. Are you guys ready to move on to Star Wars? I am. Should we move on to Star Wars?
Do it.
All right, let's do it. So first thing up for Star Wars, we have, speaking of what Aries is just talking about right now with his acquisition, let's go ahead and talk about that. Y'all. I'm going to jump over to Instagram to Hot Toys' page, where we are going to pull up the Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith 1/6 scale Anakin Skywalker collectible figure Artisan edition to review the blogger photos. Now it's funny because people have been asking like in recent weeks and months, like, where is Artisan Anakin? Where is Artisan Anakin? We pre-ordered this guy back in, he went up in October of 2023, right? So a year and a half ago. And we've been waiting. And well, ta-da. Earlier this week, some images leaked online of some warehouse where the boxed Artisan Anakin figures were like on a pallet, like waiting to get shipped out. And people were like, oh, the blogger photos got to be coming soon. Yes, they were. Within a couple of days, we got these blogger photos of Artisan Anakin. You guys, I think this looks excellent. I really think this looks excellent. Anytime we do a pre-order on a Hot Toys, the final figure is almost always slightly different. Even the best of them, like the recent Sabine Wren, which I think most people would agree is one of the best like likenesses they've ever done. Very, very slightly different. And I mean, it makes sense because you even see this with other toy companies too. Except for Hasbro, for whatever reason, like their figures generally look just as good or better than the early images they show. But you always see this with Hot Toys because I believe what they're showing initially is like their master like sculpt, right? Like their one master sculpt that they're using for all the photography and that you see in the display cases over in is it Hidden Base, Secret Base, Hidden Base over in Hong Kong. But these final images for this particular figure, I think, are very close. I think they're very close. They may not be 100% based on the blogger photos. And it's very, very important that I reiterate that. Based on the blogger photos. Because there have been times where we've seen blogger photos of an item from Hot Toys where you receive your personal sample later and it looks even better than the blogger photos. That's not always the case, but it has happened before where the blogger photos, because, you know, they are very artistic with their interpretations, with their lighting. And there are instances where the final figure is better in hand than the blogger photos. And I think there were some examples of that would be like the Padme Amidala they did within the last couple of years. Mace Windu within the last couple of years. Anakin from that same Attack of the Clones. I don't know why it's Attack of the Clones, but that one was better. The Clone Wars Palpatine. I mean, there just are instances where the final figure in hand looks better than the blogger photo. So sometimes you have to have these in hand to fully appreciate the figure, because cameras often, it's like a human, right? Like sometimes we look better in person maybe than we do on camera. Am I lying to myself there a little bit? Yeah, this figure, you guys, I think is very close. I think it's not 100%. Oh, somebody's excited. I think it's not 100% to the blogger photos or to the initial photos, but it's very close. I mean, look at that. That pose right there, like this pose is like really, really good. I hope I can get mine in that pose. I'm always a little nervous to pose mine like this because I'm afraid I'm going to rip something. But yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I like this one. I like this one. He's just like he's like putting his gloves on kind of thing, like a Bond villain. Like putting his mechanical arm on. It looks really good. I think, the fact that this has the posable eyes, that's going to be a factor in how he looks. Also, the wool implantation hair, that's going to be a factor for sure. If you decide to kind of like style it a little bit, it's going to change the likeness too. But I mean, the tailoring of this, from what I can see, and I'm thinking of the original release figure, like this just looks a lot better. The original figure that they released, gosh, I don't even remember when that was. 18 maybe? It was a nice figure, a really solid figure, but this looks a lot better just in terms of the figure, the tailoring, the proportions. Like this looks a lot closer. He looks really good. He looks really nice. I mean, I honestly don't really have any complaints from what I'm seeing here. I don't think it's 100% once again, but I do think it is indeed very, very close to the final figure, to the initial figure. I can't wait to get it. I've been hearing that people's wait lists have been converting, which is great. A number of people, I don't know when they got on the wait list. Was it early on? I'm not sure. I was on the wait list like day one, and mine converted within like 2 weeks of pre-order, or of trying to pre-order, back in October 2023. So I will be getting this figure as soon as Sideshow receives them. But yeah, if you're not on the wait list, I don't know if the wait list is still available, but if you're not on the wait list, and you want this figure, it may be worth it, because from what I've heard, I was watching my friend Brother Cousins, watching his stream, and I'll take a look for myself. But he was saying that there were pre-orders for this on eBay that were over $1,000. I'm gonna look for myself to see what they're going for currently. But yeah, if so, that is just nuts. Let's see. Oh yeah, he wasn't kidding. I'm looking at eBay right now, and one of them sold on March 28th, $1,269.99, almost $1,300. $1,300 it sold for. Somebody actually bought it for that much. Wow. At least it had free shipping. At least it had free shipping. That's nuts, you guys. Now, that's the highest example. There are some that sold earlier this month, before the blogger images came out, for $700, which is still a lot. Another one on March 28th for $980. Currently, though, from what I see on eBay right now, I don't see any that are quite that expensive. I mean, there is another for the same price, the $1,269.99 from the same seller. I don't know if it'll sell or not, but generally speaking, I do see some buy it now for $700. Oh wait. Wait. Oh no, that's the old Anakin. Never mind. That's the old Anakin. Here. Why don't I loop you guys into this so you can see for yourself? So let's see, did it work? No, it didn't work. No, can't do that. La la la. All right, I can't share the screen, but it does look like the one. Oh, there it goes. The ones that are on there are indeed very pricey. There's another one, $1,200 plus $40 shipping. There's some that are less, but those are not the Artisan edition. Those are the regular edition from like 2018. Yeah, that's nuts. There's actually not that many, but the ones that are on here, yeah, $1,269 and then $1,200. I don't know that I've seen an Artisan like sell or even be posted at those prices right out the gate. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. But, I think that speaks to the popularity of Anakin Skywalker. I don't think there is a more popular character than Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars at this point in time. I think he is, like, right now, 2025, like, Anakin Skywalker is Star Wars. And for very good reason. The target audience right now for these companies, whether it's Hot Toys, whether it's even Hasbro, and I don't think Hasbro fully knows it, their target audience is now, people that are, their 30s, 40s that were growing up with the prequels, were going into adulthood when the Clone Wars was on. So that is the target audience, whether these companies acknowledge it or not, is that generation. So Anakin Skywalker is the most popular character in Star Wars, and this is the proof right here. It's also evidence that Hot Toys needs to find another way to get a non-artisan edition out, and I think eventually they will. I don't know that it'll happen right away, which is kind of crazy because this is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. This is the right time to do it. We'll see. If they released a regular edition, certainly the demand on the Artisan would go down. I know it would. But it wouldn't be the Artisan, right? It would still be a standard edition. I think for a lot of people, that would be fine. I think a lot of people also want a dark side version. Me personally, I think if they're going to do a regular Anakin, I think you just do a deluxe option that has dark side head and normal head. I think that would be the way to go. I don't really want to buy like another whole, if it were me and I didn't have the Artisan, I would want dark side, but I would also want light side. So I would want both. I would choose a deluxe that had both options, but that's just me. And again, this is absolutely crazy that the pricing, I've never seen pricing like this out the gate for a brand new Artisan figure or a brand new Star Wars figure even. Like it's wild. But let's see what you guys are saying as I take a sip of coffee for Cantina Coffee Hour. Are my eyes mistaken? Am I looking at the comments and seeing that Dodgson has joined us? Dodgson, good morning or afternoon, but welcome. Flies in pockets of air today, but we'll share last week's new acquisitions. Yes, please do that at the end. We're glad you're here. We were talking about you earlier. Looks like our pal Jason is with us. Hey, Jason, good to see you too. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see here. See some other names. Other names in here. We got James with us. James says, I've always liked Returns better than Batman 89. We've got Miles with us. Hello, Miles. That hand zapper was violent. Yeah, talking about the Joker, Jack Nicholson Joker. Yes, that scared me more than anything else in that movie was when he shook that mob guy's hand and the guy just turned into a skeleton. Like I was like freaking terrified as a little kid in the theater. I remember my cousin like trying to shield my eyes because I was like going like this. I was trying to like hide underneath behind the seat. Which back then there wasn't like stadium seating in movie theaters, so it was just like I was just like going like that. And my cousin was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, no. Good times. Britt says, quite an exciting Star Wars week. Indeed, it's been a very exciting Star Wars week. And that's not even talking, I'm not even including in the Disney news here. Like Luke Skywalker is finally at the Galaxy's Edge. Like, wow. Adam says, this Anakin has definitely evolved since we bought him. Yeah, definitely. They've definitely evolved him a little bit. Peekaboo1 says, beautiful. Alex says, VC GameStop notified me that my Stars Black Series Savage press arrived. I will be picking that up later. Ooh, very nice. Very nice, Alex. That's awesome. It's a good looking figure. Britt says, is the figure meant to be specific to the final duel or represent Revenge of the Sith as a whole? That is a good question, Britt. I am not honestly sure. I'm not honestly sure. To me personally, it does look like he's already turned to the dark side. That's just my opinion, but he's not dark side Anakin. And what's an Anakin? You see what happens when I don't have a guest? I just go nuts. That's a new one, Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, I mean, he's not dark side in the sense that he doesn't have the Sith eyes, right? But to me, it looks like he's past the point where he's turned. That's what I think. Anakin Skywalker. Britt says, in Revenge of the Sith, he was just described as Revenge of the Sith as opposed to the duel specifically. Yeah, that's my thoughts too. Britt says, Dixie has a lot of thoughts about Artisan Anakin. She has a lot of thoughts about everything. I tell her, girl, we're not asking for your thoughts about random things that you don't understand. But you know what? She does understand quite a bit. She's a very smart dog. She's a very smart dog. And I'm not just saying that because she's my dog. Like, she's honestly a very smart dog. The hair is darker in these photos than on the Sideshow site. Yes, the hair color does look like they tweaked it a little bit. Absolutely. Isam is with us. Hey, Isam, good to see you. Let's see. Sideshow still says July to December shipping. I hope they update that. It's getting really annoying when like the rest of the world gets these figures, but then we get them so late. Like it happens with like almost all of them. And I get it. They're made overseas, so yeah, it makes sense for them to distribute first in other areas, but it's like it's not just like a slow delay. It's a very long delay, which is weird because with other companies like, you know, Mattel, Hasbro, whatever, they usually hit the US first, even though they're made overseas. So it's a little, it's hard to, they should hit in Asia first, in my opinion, because that's where they're made. But it's just a little odd that this is like a very Hot Toys thing to happen. I think they should try to time it a little more simultaneously, at the very least. Yeah, everybody's excited that Dodgson is here. Absolutely. Dodgson went to 3 flea markets. And happy to be here with the Cantinians. Absolutely. We're happy you're here. Let's see. Prequel babies in the house, Brett says. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is me to a T. Ankle Sky Kinkle. July through November. I think with regard to Anakin being the most popular Star Wars character, how remarkable it is after the popularity of Luke Skywalker, George Lucas was able to create a character to surpass. That's a really good point. That is a really, really good point. To surpass Luke's popularity. Absolutely. Yeah, that yeah, and I just think that speaks to how broadly Star Wars has affected people, not just in the original trilogy era, but far beyond. The idea, you know, it at the time, Star Wars was just the OT, right? And the expanded universe started, you know, the comics and books and all that. But like then the prequels, like right now, that's just the target audience, right? People that were young when those were in theaters. Yeah. So this figure looks good. I think it looks really good. I'm excited for him. And I definitely hope I don't have to wait that long. I definitely hope I don't have to wait till July to December. That reminds me, July through December and July through November. Hopefully it'll be November and not December, but hopefully it'll be May and not June. And hopefully it'll be April and not May. I don't know what I just said, but I said something, which kind of speaks to the entirety of this show. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close that out. And we're going to move on. If you're just joining us, this is Cantina Social Hour. No. Coffee Hour. Coffee Hour. Cantina Coffee Hour, because it's Saturday morning. For me, it's Saturday morning still. And we're going to stick with Hot Toys. And we're going to talk about another Grogu. Are you guys tired of Grogu? It's been how many years since The Mandalorian? Are you guys tired of him? I can't say that I am, but... all right, so let's jump back over here to Instagram. We'll stay on Hot Toys' site. So, okay. This is an interesting one. This is a very, very interesting one because Hot Toys already did this, right? And they redo their figures. They do 2.0s all the time, but this is a particularly interesting one. Check this out. So right here, I have the first one. And I think he's pretty great. Like, I don't see a reason why I need a 2.0. But I'm very pleased with what they did with that figure. Like, I think he's great. The hands are a little bit big. The likeness, you know, it's like 90%. It's not 100%. I'm very happy with this one. So why are they doing a 2.0? And the answer is, I have no idea. I have no earthly idea why they're doing a 2.0, other than the fact that they are doing a 2.0. But from what we can see, I'll be honest, I think it looks better than the one that I have. He looks better than the one that I currently have. I'm not sure like what all is new other than the head. Like, I don't know if the hands are the same hands. The first one came with interchangeable hands. So I don't know if that's what this has. And I don't know if his potato sack is new or the same. Like, I'm looking back and forth. It looks the same. I can't see any difference. To be honest, I cannot see any difference from the one that I already have. But the head is definitely brand new. This does look closer to what we see in the show. The one that they gave us has a little bit of a little grin on him, sort of like a little hint of a smile. And he looks a little cutesy. This one looks a little more realistic, I think. Looks a little more accurate to the show, which again, I'm very happy with the one that I have. I don't know that I need another one. This one does come with the satchel that Mando walks around with him inside. At least I think that's what that is. Let's see what it says. This skillfully crafted collectible figure is based on Grogu's appearance in The Mandalorian, featuring a newly developed head sculpt with white fabric hair, newly designed body. Okay, so new body with articulated arms and legs. Okay, so maybe that's new. The one that I have, you can move his arms and you can move his legs. So does this mean he has like ball joints or something at his elbows and his knees? Because the old one does not. So I don't know if that's what that means here, or if it's the same articulation as before. A carefully tailored fabric robe and a crossbody bag that any Grogu's parent can use to travel with Grogu as a clan of two everywhere without boundaries. Like, this would be really good for like a costume. Like, this will be the most realistic Grogu, I think, in this life-size scale. Again, I would say the same is true for the one I already have, though. So I don't know that this is like, I don't know why they're doing this. And I don't know why they're doing it right now, because we're in the middle. This is 2025, right? This should be like the year of Revenge of the Sith. And we haven't seen anything from Revenge of the Sith yet other than the Artisan Anakin. It all goes back to, you know, wanting more from things that are current, right? Things that are topically current anyway. We got the movie coming back to theaters soon. We always want more.
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
So I don't know that I'm going to get this. I mean, I'm not going to pre-order, that's for sure. I'm going to wait and see what the final thing looks like. Again, I'm very happy with the one I have. I definitely don't need another one. But maybe he's going to be just far more amazing in final product form than the one I have. And that'll be the deciding factor. This isn't one I think is going to sell out. I don't think they're going to make a lot of them. Last time they made a lot of them. They couldn't even give them away for free last time. And they were trying. Last fall when they were doing their big November like pushes to sell stuff, right? You get a free Grogu, I think, with like certain purchases, certain amount of money spent. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. But again, it's not something that I need to pre-order. I'm going to wait and see, but probably it's not going to be something I need because I'm very happy with the one I have. And I would expect that most people that have that original one would not be jumping at the gun to get the new one either. Now we have the answer to a long unresolved mystery. So July through November is JASON, July, August, September, October. I've never, you know what? We have a good friend named Jason, and I'm going to have to start calling him July, August, September, October, November. If you don't mind, July through November, if you don't mind. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Britt says, my heart will never stop loving Grogu. I hear you. Isn't he the best? He's Grogu. How can you not love Grogu? I wish this is the Grogu we got back then, which they seem to make a lot of. Adam says, yes, I agree. Britt says, sometimes I'll see a random Grogu gif and go, damn, he's cute. He is. Dutchton, you ate some Subway? Nice. We're talking about Grogu. All yours enjoyed. Thank you, Jason. All right. So that wasn't the only new hot toy that was announced this week. Because we also have another one, a Darth Vader. Can you guys believe that Hot Toys would make a Darth Vader? Yes, this is like the 10th one, like in the last few years. So this is the 1/6 scale Darth Vader dueling effect version collectible figure, Hot Toys exclusive. It says here that this is a Star Wars Celebration exclusive. So you guys already, so you guys already know that they are doing Mads Mikkelsen, right? We already saw that they're doing Galen Erso for an exclusive for Celebration. We talked about it last week. But now they're also doing a dueling effect version. And I see why they're calling it that. I mean, the light, it looks like the light's reflecting like blue and red, like from lightsabers. So, I mean, as an exclusive, this is perfect. You know why? Because it's not something I need. And this is what an exclusive should be. It should not be an all-new figure like Galen Erso. It should be a variant of an existing figure or of an upcoming figure. That's what an exclusive should always be, a variant of an existing figure. So to me, this is a perfect exclusive because, again, if you already have a Darth Vader, you have a Darth Vader, right? But this is just like an alternate paint version. So it says here, this stunning 1/6 scale Darth Vader dueling effect version showcases a dynamic style with a comic-inspired dueling effect designed by @G Collectus, defined by a vivid red and blue pattern design that highlights the streamlined details of Darth Vader's black helmet, armor pieces, and everywhere on the costume. The highly detailed collectible figure features meticulously crafted Darth Vader helmet and armor, skillfully tailored bodysuit, LED lighted life support device and belt, an LED light-up lightsaber, and a specially designed themed figure base. An exclusive Japan edition version that comes with an additional special box sleeve limited to 1,000 units is available in Japan. And Hot Toys exclusive version limited to 2,000 units is available in selected channels. Okay, so it sounds like it's not just going to be Celebration. So they are going to release, unlike Galen Erso, they do have plans to release this one elsewhere. Okay, so why couldn't they have done that with Galen Erso? Like, that would have made more sense than just doing it. Should have been the opposite. This should have been the one only at Celebration. I don't know. I'm not in charge of the rules. I just report what they are. I think this looks really cool, you guys. I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to pick it up or try to get it, but I think it looks cool. I think it looks really cool. If the final product looks like this, I think they did a really nice job replicating what lightsaber lighting looks like on a figure. But you would kind of need to pose him with like Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi or somebody, right? Like you can't just have him by himself, can you? I guess you could. But no, well, he's got the blue on him too, so you would need to have somebody to fight with him. But then that figure wouldn't have this color paint thing on him, so yeah, that would represent that would present a predicament. But yeah, it looks cool, and like I said, this is what an exclusive should be. It should not be like Galen or so. It should be something like this. It's cool. It's cool. What do you guys think? Are you guys interested in this? Dodgen says mine just exploded at July through November's name. Yeah, mine did too. That's what I'm saying. Steve says Sig Vader, great exclusive to India. Jason says I had known about the name thing since I read the old series Encyclopedia Brown. He had a mystery, but he used January instead of July to solve a mystery, but also having the name Jason made it easy. Ooh. Oh, very cool. So I guess it would take a Jason to know a Jason, is what we're saying here. Joshin says, I'm convinced that July through November is not human. He's probably some highly intelligent being that has been building up to this moment to drop this shocking truth on us. Maybe, right? Maybe. Adam says, I can point a red light at any of my other Vader. I was thinking the same because I did the same thing with lights. Wonder if I can find the picture. I'll have to jump over. Let's jump over to my profile, see if I can find that real quick. Here, let's go over. I did the exact same thing you're talking about. I got to meet Kristen Ritter yesterday, by the way. That was fun. Let's see. I'm gonna probably have to go pretty far. And of course it loads slower than a turtle crosses a 2-foot bridge. So let's see if I can find this. This was the Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi one that released, I think it was last year. Early last year, I want to say. But I did the same exact thing, Adam. I just used paint to control, not paint, I used paint. Like I would do that in a way. I used lights. Here it is. To create the same effect. I think what I used was just lightsabers, like the FX lightsabers. I used a red one and I used a blue one, not real lightsabers, but FX lightsabers. And I positioned them to take this photo. So I did what you're saying. I pointed light and I made this, right? So you don't need exclusive lightsaber dual reflection or whatever it's called, Darth Vader. You can do it with your own lighting. You can do it with your own lighting. Can Hot Toys Vader? Can I click on this comment? There we go. Can Hot Toys Vader enthusiasts tell what Vader is used here? I only have one. It's from The Empire Strikes Back. Good question. I don't know. Let's go back and see. I consider myself pretty knowledgeable with Darth Vader's costume. Not by far the most. I think this is Return of the Jedi. I think it looks like the recent Return of the Jedi one. The helmet sculpt, the gloves, like it looks like that's the Return of the Jedi one they just released recently. Which is probably their best one overall. Because he has the unmasked Sebastian Shaw head. I was going to say Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Shaw. Yeah, I think this is Return of the Jedi. I love how we're still talking about the name, Jason's name, July through November's name. Mary says, I already have 3 Vaders. Easy pass. Yeah, I have 3 Vaders too, right? 3? I'm trying to get rid of the Empire Strikes Back one, though. So if anybody wants the Empire Strikes Back Hot Toys Vader, if you're interested in that, DM me on Instagram, because I need to find a home for that. Actually, I have a few others. I try to downsize every now and then. I have some Hot Toys I'm trying to let go of. Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Deluxe is part of that list. If anybody is interested, please DM me on Instagram. Rick says, I have way too many Hot Toys Vaders. There's, like I said, how many have they done in the last few years? Like 10? Like going on a dozen at least? So I'm not a human, but unfortunately not very intelligent. I just saw it on an abbreviated on a calendar in 5th grade. You guys are the best. You guys are what make this show. I mean, it's not even the toy talk. It's just the random comments that we comment, the random tangents we jump to. She's a fan of Megadeth for bonus points. Yep. Yeah, it was a lot. That was a lot of fun. She was absolutely lovely. Why didn't TVC just use cloth on the TVC and New Vader to go over the armor? Such a missed opportunity. Oh, TVC, but we're still focusing on Vader. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Other than money, cost savings, my guess. That is tempting, Victoria. I only have a New Hope in the Obi-Wan Vaders and the life-size one. LOL. Well, if you want it, Adam, hit me up. It's yours. Just let me know. All right. Let's go ahead and close out of this. Are we done with Hot Toys? Are we done with Hot Toys? I think we are. We're also over an hour into the show now. And I guess I should mention now that unfortunately our guest for today is not going to be joining us. Something came up. So that means I get to run my voice into the ground talking to myself for the next however long is left in the show. But it's okay because it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Okay, should we move on to Hasbro? You guys want to move on to Hasbro? If you are just joining us, this is Cantina Social. I did it again. This is Cantina Coffee Hour, Saturday. It's no longer morning here. It is afternoon, but it's still coffee hour. Don't worry. It's cold now, but it still tastes good. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Hello, hello.
Hello.
And we are fixing to talk Hasbro Star Wars. All right, so let's start off by acknowledging the winner of March Madness this year. As I mentioned, I got to jump on their page. As I mentioned, I was on the SWTVC finale live stream for March Madness on Monday. So thanks again to those guys for having me. In which it was revealed that Mara Jade narrowly, I think by like 15 votes, beat out Asajj Ventress for a winner of March Madness. But as you guys know, by the next morning, we knew it was okay because Asajj Ventress actually got announced. And we'll talk about those in just a bit. But yeah, what I said on their show is what I'll repeat here is that this year's March Madness really reinforces for me that when it comes to Hasbro Star Wars, when it comes to the vintage collection, that collectors and fans, what they really want is to complete the crew. And if you look at the top 30 and you look at those matches where figures, or paired against another figure and you had to vote, the winners oftentimes were missing crew figures. And that's figures like Baze Malbus from Rogue One. That's characters like Kira and Dryden Voss from Solo. That's characters like the rest of the Bad Batch. At this point in the game, based on March Madness, the biggest takeaway for me is that Collectors want to complete their crews. And I hope that that's the message that Hasbro takes away this year. Not just that Mara Jade won, but I hope that they take away that message that people want to complete their crews, because we should not be going all these years without completing our Rogue One crews. We should not be going all these years with Hunter still being the only Bad Batch team member that is available in TVC. To me, it makes no sense. And it's honestly quite sad, and it is very, very frustrating for any collector who wants to complete their crew to not have the Bad Batch. When did Hunter release? Was it 2022? Was it 2023? I mean, we're in 2025 now, and we don't have Crosshair, we don't have Tech, we don't have Echo, we don't have Omega, we don't have Wrecker, we don't have any of those. Yet they came out in the Black Series like pretty much right away as soon as the show came out, as I recall. So why are we still waiting? Why has it been so many years since we got Hunter, who I don't even have on display because I don't have anywhere to put him. He doesn't fit anywhere. And for us to still be waiting for the rest of those crew members, like, to me, that just does not make any sense. It's insanely frustrating, and I really think that Hasbro is risking losing some of their customers by not giving them these crews. Like, there's no reason it should be taking this long to get all the Bad Batch. There's no reason it should be taking us 9 years to get Baze Malbus or Bodhi Rook. There's no reason it should be taking when did Solo come out? 2018? Hang on while I do maths. It's been almost 7 years since Solo. And we still don't have Kira, who was one of the big three of that film. I mean, I get why a lot of collectors are frustrated, even though we get some awesome announcements, and we're going to talk about the awesome announcements we had this week. It doesn't absolve the fact that we're missing some of those really important crew members. And I've said it before here, and I've said it before. I said it on SWTVC on Monday. Hasbro needs to commit to a plan to releasing crew members within a certain amount of time. It doesn't mean they need to tell the public, like, hey, we're going to give you the whole Bad Batch within the next 2 or 3 years. They don't need to do that, but they internally need to have a plan that they're going to release all 5 of the crew members within 3 years, which is very generous, I think. But let's say 3 years, or all of the Rogue One crew. When did TVC come back? Was early 2018, I think, right? That March 2018, I think, is when it started hitting stores. We're waiting just as long, 7 years for Baze Malbus. So it's like, 9 years since Rogue One, almost. Well, in December. I hope that Andor kind of helps to get the ball rolling on some of these characters that we're missing, because people are gonna. I think this is Revenge of the Sith here for sure, but I think people are also going to be focused on Andor and Rogue One as a result of Andor season 2. So I do hope that reignites like the conversation internally that Hasbro is having when they're deciding who to put into the line. We need Baze Malbus. We need Bodhi Rook. We need Kira. We need Dryden Voss. We need the Bad Batch. And again, it should not be taking this long to get all of those figures. It should not, especially when you release the Bad Batch. And one other thing I just want to drop before we talk about Mara Jade, I want to mention is another point that I brought up was that last year when they were doing all the Mandalorian repaints, remember people were saying, oh, well, the writer's strike, Skeleton Crew got delayed. It's not coming out until December. So that's why they're doing all these Mandalorian repaints to fill up the waves of those figures, of those Skeleton Crew figures. Right? We got a bunch of Mandalorian season 3 stuff. It wasn't a great time. It was kind of uninspired period. And a lot of it was like inaccurate stuff, like Axe Woves, who wasn't even season 3 specific, even though he was marketed as season 3. But how many Skeleton Crew figures do we end up getting? Just one. We only got Jod Nawad. And where are the other delayed Skeleton Crew figures? Did they cancel them? Did they decide not to do them? Were there never any others other than Jod Nawad? Because that's another crew that you've started that we're not going to be able to finish, right? Are we going to get the kids? I mean, Black Series got all the kids. Are we going to get those figures? Are we going to be getting figures like Captain Brutus or SM-33? Like, I want those figures. I mean, they might not be at the top of my list, but I definitely want those. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, Mara Jade. Looks like we got 50 in the house. Hello to everybody. Thank you for joining Cantina Social Hour. Cantina Coffee Hour, I mean. Mara Jade. So I did not vote for Mara Jade. I voted for Asajj Ventress. I personally don't have much interest in Mara Jade as a character. I understand that, you know, there is a segment of fans who like the Shadows of the Empire era, who like the Thrawn era. But this isn't a character that I've really have any sort of attachment to. Not only is she, you know, like kind of at this point, kind of deep expanded universe, maybe not too deep, but if you've been doing this a long time, you know who Mara Jade is, right? They released a figure of Mara Jade back in the Black Series 3 3/4 inch days, which I thought was okay, even though she looked like she had Sarah Connor like style hair from the first Terminator. I thought she was okay. But I wasn't like, this is not a character I would ever be like beating the drum for, just because she's just not like something that I would personally be excited for. But I will say that the recent Thrawn figures and the reemergence of Thrawn in new media like Rebels and especially in Ahsoka, I think have sort of awakened some collectors' memories of that era of these characters. So like the Thrawn, they're doing the Heir to the Empire set that's coming soon. They've been doing some of these in Black Series. I think that has people focused a little bit on that era of toys, that era of collecting. So to me, it makes sense that people want the character. It's just not a personal want of mine, but she won, and again by 15 votes, and I think that's significant enough that Hasbro needs to take a look and say, hey, people, you know, a good amount of people want Mara Jade. We should go ahead and consider this bare minimum, right? Just like last year, it was Pong Krell that won, right? And that's another one that would not be anywhere near the top of my list. But again, Hasbro should at least be saying, like, okay, having the conversation, like, okay, a good amount of people say they want this figure. Do we have a way to do it? Can we make it? I think we're going to get a Mara Jade. I definitely think that we're going to get a Mara Jade sooner rather than later. Is it just going to be the same old figure with a new head? Or is it going to be a completely brand new figure? That I don't know. But I do think that we're going to get a Mara Jade at some point. So yes, congratulations to Mara Jade fans and to Mara Jade for winning SWTVC's March Madness this year. Yeah, if Hasbro makes this, let's hope that it's a solid figure, because a good figure is a good figure regardless of the media it's from, in my opinion. Before we jump into this week's Hasbro Pulse stream reveals, I'm just going to take another gander into the comments. Anna says, Jason, Jason does seem like a robot name from a sci-fi show. Jason says, I think you're thinking of Daryl, Daryo. Greg is on his third coffee. I need another one. Mine's cold. But there's nobody here to make me one. I don't think the dog knows how to do coffee. Alex, I did pre-order all the vintage collection. Very cool. Jedi Niner. Hello, Janine. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. July to November. I think any figure in the top 30 are already winners. The top 30 expresses what people want. I agree. The Black Series also got the Bad Batch Season 2. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Charlie says, whoa, too early to drink, or is it? I mean, it depends on where you are. And hi, Charlie. How are you doing? I'm just having coffee. But yeah, some of you are later in the day. than I am. No judgments for me whatsoever. Trevor says, Borg Gullet. Should Borg Gullet get made as a figure? Borg Gullet sees all. Maybe. Does Borg Gullet see the future of TVC? That's what I wonder. That's what I stay awake at night thinking about. I can't figure out what Hasbro's position is on TVC. Sometimes it seems like they value it. Sometimes it seems like they are doing it out of obligation. It's so hot and cold. I hear you there, Jason, for sure. Sometimes when it feels like we kind of have an idea on their pulse, no pun intended, with this stuff, they make a hard left and they go somewhere else, or they just go in a different direction. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate like the return to Tatooine theme. As I understand it, there's going to be a different theme next year for TVC. But that's been hit and miss for me, honestly. Like Return to Tatooine, okay, Tonica Sisters, amazing, right? Nabrin leads, Greedo, Wooer, amazing. The Cantina, amazing. Luke Skywalker, amazing. But then you have things thrown in there like 10-year-old repaints like Ponda Baba, Dr. Evazan. I don't know if we include Aura Singh as Return to Tatooine or not. The Land Speeder we know now is a kit bash, which we're going to talk about in just a bit here. It's not completely brand new like we were thinking it was going to be. So it's not been like 100%. Return to Tatooine as a whole has not been like as great as I was thinking it was going to be, but it's not over yet. I don't want to speak too soon or declare that too soon because it's not over yet. But I do appreciate the themes, and I hope they commit to those themes and not just like, I hope that going forward it's not like repaints. I hope it's mostly like new stuff. Rick says, I think the fact that Black Series got the entire Bad Batch crew is what hurts the most. Hot Toys managed to get me the crew, Sans Omega. Hasbro dropped the ball big time. They did. We just got to call it as it is. They did drop the ball in the Bad Batch for TVC. They really did. It's been far too long since that show came out. I think it came out in 2020, right? I believe. Like, why are we still waiting 5 years to complete that crew? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Even Hot Toys did it, like you say. The Dad Batch, is that what we're calling him now? We have Huckleburger with us. Hello, hello. Saw and Two Tubes. Yeah, I mean, Saw makes, pretty good sense. Though Saw, I don't think was like the main crew in Rogue One. And he is in Andor, so I hope we get Saw. But do I want Saw to be Andor, or do I want Saw to be Rogue One? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Probably Rogue One, I would say. I suspect we didn't get the Bad Batch because if people watch the show and want to go out and get the figures, Hasbro retailers want to point them to $25 figures and not the $17. I mean, that's valid. As we've said before, as we know, the cost of a TVC figure requires the same level of assembly that a Black Series figure does. So labor costs are the same on both as far as Hasbro is concerned. So yeah, they're making more of Black Series, which is why they push it. And even if a Black Series doesn't like segment or figure doesn't do well, it's like it doesn't affect the rest of the line. Like they'll keep making things from Acolyte, for example, or Ahsoka, for example. But they don't treat TVC the same. If something doesn't do well, they just kind of ignore it for the rest of the line, right? Or for years on end. We got 1/6 scale man. Hello, Leo. How's it going? Love you, Victoria. This channel is my comfy space. Thank you for saying that. Really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. It's always great to see you here in the chat. Rick, I consider the Bad Batch to orbit around Anakin and Rex. They had multiple seasons of fiction. A novel is coming. That crew is worthy of vintage collection action figures. Yeah, I agree. Trevor's bummed out about Skeleton Crew. Yeah, don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. July 3 November says the same. Britt says Ventress was the true winner. In the end, yes. We'll talk about that in just a moment here, but yes. Adam says, OMG, I'm so glad there's someone else who has zero Mara Jade interest. Allison is with us. Hello, Allison. It was the Zahn trilogy with Mara that helped reignite my passion for Star Wars back in the dark times. And that's completely cool. Like if Mara Jade is a passion for you or anybody else, like that's awesome. Like I totally that's awesome. I support that 100%. Mara Jade won, but hasn't appeared in any live action media. Yep, that is true. Emperor Han movie would slap, Charlie says. I mean, it could be cool. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but she was married to Luke, so I mean, I don't know how they're going to work that out. It'd probably just be like Thrawn, right? Like they would just like change the story, I guess. Rick says, I'll be real. I would love to see Bad Batch turn up in Andor season 2, even if it's just a 10-second montage of the birth of the rebellion across the different planets fighting. I still want to see Omega meet Boba Fett. Brother and sister, right? I want to see them meet up. Now, Omega has a little bit of like force potential, right? So how would that work? I don't know. So many like little threads that Lucasfilm has started in these shows that just kind of don't go anywhere ultimately, which is kind of frustrating, but that's a different conversation. Let's see. Darth Malak's missing Lord Jaw is back. Need Chimera and TVC. We do. We need the Stranger. We need the Stranger. Peak Obi-Wan is on coffee number 4, and Mrs. Peak Obi-Wan just got done with brunch lunch. Very nice. Brunch lunch sounds good. CT603 is with us saying, first time visitor, welcome. We are glad you are here. We welcome all to this cantina. We love everybody. Only character from Acolyte that I like. Darth Malak's missing jaw ads. Peak Obi-Wan voted Ventress. Nice. July through November. I love Return to Tatooine. I want them to really do it though. Beru, Owen, and Aliens. Yes, Beru and Owen. Like that would solidify Return to Tatooine for me if they did those two. Like that would be like, okay, Return to Tatooine, you are like the best thing ever. But I don't know that they're going to do those two. They make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know that they're going to do them. More Cantina patrons, Trevor says. Yep. Yeah, as we hashed out last week, we need more Cantina aliens to populate cantinas. I have them all, but I know that I'm in a minority of people that have all of those. Newer collectors or people that just didn't pick them up over the last 30 years, like they absolutely need to have access to some of these characters. Even if it's, I know we're talking about, old figures coming back as Return to Tatooine, like Ponda Baba. But sometimes figures make sense and sometimes they don't. Ponda Baba just needed a new head, like I said before. But some of the aliens still hold up. Some of the aliens that we talked about last week, we made a short list. So Hasbro, if you're watching, please check out that episode. We have a short list for you. I know it's too late for this year, but if you're planning on re-releasing older aliens, you can still do that. But yeah, there need to be more aliens this year because the Cantina is coming out later this year. So there needs to be more aliens for those fans. Like absolutely 100%. Darth Malak says, I really hope the reason we haven't gotten the Bad Batch crew is because TVC will make a Marauder HasLab and include the figures, including Omega. Yeah, but I don't want to. They did that with Rebels, right? For all intents and purposes, they did that with Rebels, and I don't think it was the best approach. Highly demanded core figures should not be like paywalled behind a $400, $500 HasLab. Like it just should not be the case. Yeah, I've thought about that too. I thought maybe they're not doing them because they're waiting for to do a HasLab of some sort. I don't know that I would buy the Marauder. I'm at the point where the HasLabs are just, I don't have anywhere to put them. I still haven't even opened the Ghost because I don't have anywhere to put it. The Cantina, I don't know where I'm going to put that. I'm going to make room 100%. Something else is going to have to be off the shelf, right? It's going to have to being knocked off the shelf for the Cantina. I don't know what yet, but I can't. The HasLabs are just these big vehicles like the sail bars, the Razor Crest, the Ghost. They're just so space consuming, and space is very limited in my collection. I don't have a huge collection space. I'm very envious of a lot of people I see on Instagram that have these amazing, gorgeous, like basements or whole, like giant rooms, like, because they can put like a lot of stuff on display, and I just can't do that. So being realistic, I don't know that I would buy the Marauder. I would want the figures. Yes, I would find a way to get the figures, but the HasLab, any HasLab going forward needs to speak to cast the widest net possible. I feel like Bad Batch would probably do well, but it's not going towards the core audience. I think any HasLabs going forward need to reach the core audience of, like I said earlier, right now, that would be like the prequel generation. That's the core audience, whether Hasbro acknowledges it or not. So I would be looking at that. I'd be looking at that area for future HasLab. Pico Me One says, called it on the land speeder. Hasbro utilize the Black Series as the model for the line. Personally, it should be the opposite. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Charlie says, I expect to see Saw Gerrera and Hot Toys. Too important a character to not get some representation. Mon Mothma, Luthen Rail, and Saw Gerrera are the big three in Andor. What about Andor himself? I would say Andor, Mon Mothma, and Luthen are the big three. Even though Mon Mothma hasn't in season 1 at least didn't meet Andor yet. So I don't think so. I'm sure in season 2 they'll meet. 1/6 Scale Man says, need an Asajj Ventress. Yeah, I'll take Ventress in any scale. Honestly, I bought the Black Series. I really want a Hot Toys Asajj Ventress. I really want that. Rick says, Victoria, I would love to talk through Omega and Boba and my theories one day. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. Rick, for sure. Brew and Owen with the new hut. Yeah, I mean, I really like the old one, but I would buy another Lars Homestead for sure. Dodgson, I just want my updated Bespin Han and Luke with updated barbell hips. I think after Return to Tatooine and A New Hope focus, I think we'll get those eventually. I don't think it's going to be the theme for next year, but I think we will get those eventually. Even Rebels had a Rebels figure line when it came out. That is true. That they were 5 POA, but they did. Alex wants a Sandcrawler or a Bantha. I don't know what TVC Hasbro should be, but it's getting tough. Yeah, I say prequel era. I say it should be prequel era. I hope we get Andor as a Hot Toys in his outfit where he wears leading into Rogue One, a limited exclusive run of Andor. And the TIE Avenger pilot outfit would be cool too. Yeah, that'd be neat. All right. Should we move on? We're an hour and a half in. We got 47 currently in the house. Let's do that. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next phase. The next phase. All right. There is a new Black Series exclusive. And this is going to be a Celebration exclusive. Let's go ahead and pull up images of that. I'm going to jump back over to our pal Yakface. And we'll see what he's got for images. All right. So for Celebration, they are doing this Black Series exclusive based on Star Wars Visions. It's the Ronin and R5 D56. It's a $69.99 price point. It comes with 11 accessories, including a lightsaber staff, 2 rocket thrusters, and 6 droid tools. So it's going to be a 2-pack with these 2 figures from Star Wars Visions, which Star Wars Visions, there were some episodes of it that I enjoyed and some that I don't want to say I didn't like them. They just, I was a little, I kind of started tuning out a little bit. But I think these are cool. I think this is a really cool exclusive for Japan because it ties into the whole, Japanese history. I absolutely adore Japan. I've been there twice now, and I really wish I was going for Celebration, but I've said it already. It's just a really bad time. As an educator, like I cannot just take a week off in the middle of April to attend Celebration. I wish I could. We get fall break, we get winter break, we get spring break, which I'm on right now, and we get summer break. But we can't, as teachers, we can't just take you can, right? Some people do, but I couldn't do it. Take a week off in April, which is also a really important time of the school year for kids, because that's when you have testing season. That's when you're gearing up for the end of the school year and you're finalizing data and grades and all that. Just not a good time for teachers, April. So I humbly request, I kindly request to Lucasfilm that in the future, any celebrations, and I say this, somewhat selfishly, perhaps as a teacher, that they take place during summer, take place during, mid to late June. I think would be perfect going forward. That's just my personal appeal to Lucasfilm regarding celebrations. But yeah, anyway, back to the exclusive. We're going on a tangent again. I think these are cool. This is a good exclusive. As I understand it, colorized versions of these will be available in the main line for Black Series later. But yeah, I think the black and white paint on the exclusive versions here, with the red lightsaber, of course, are really nice. This was one of the more interesting episodes of Visions. And for the astromech droid, they're just using their old, it's supposed to be an R5, right? But it looks like an R, it's hard to say. The dome looks like an R2 astromech. Hopefully that's not an oversight. Hopefully it does have an R5 head. Hopefully it does, because that would be kind of bad if it wasn't, especially when the name is literally R5. A few more pictures here. Looks great. This is very dynamic. I'm probably not going to get these exclusive versions, but mainline, definitely. This is a really cool display piece. Really, really cool display piece. Yeah, these are nice. These are nice. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and keep going here. We are going to keep, have you guys seen these? These weren't part of my plans to talk about, but have you guys seen these? It's the Epic World of Action Power of the Force. Not Power of the Force, like we said before, Power of the Force. Ultimate Mech Force suit. Darth Vader, Mandalorian, and Stormtrooper. These are cool. Probably not for me, but just to see them, pretty cool. They're obviously meant for kids. They're obviously meant to, probably not to appeal to adult collectors, but it's just weird and wacky and fun, and I'm okay with that. All right, let's keep on going. Before we get to new acquisitions, we're going to move into our main segment of the evening. There I go. I said it again, the evening. It is not the evening. It is early afternoon. Here on the West Coast of the United States, early afternoon. And by the way, I know I said, tangent. I said I was going to do a video for my background I started using this year. I'm glad I waited because I don't know if anyone noticed, but I kind of changed things around. I changed things around a little bit in a recent. Actually, I just did this the other day. So I'm glad I waited because I'm way more happy with how it is now. And there's stuff on the bottom you guys can't even see. There's a whole other like row of shelves. Anyway. We're going to jump over to banthaskull.com. My friends Chris and Brett, banthaskull.com. And we're going to talk about our main segment for today. And that is the official images from the Hasbro fan stream, which occurred on Tuesday of this week. And the brand new items that were shown and revealed during the fan stream. We're going to start with Black Series as we usually do. So we're going to scroll all the way down. All right. So Ezra Bridger, as seen in Ahsoka, is coming to Black Series. This is a figure that I know a lot of people wanted for Black Series fans. So it makes sense that they would get around to him at some point. Figure looks really nice. It looks really nice. I mean, I did pick up some of the Ahsoka figures, not all, but I did pick up some of them. I would probably get Ezra because he is like a main, character. And I think he looks great. I mean, when it comes to Black Series these days, usually they don't not look great. Like they usually just pretty much nail it right out the gate. So that's not always true. It's not always true though. Remember Balin Skull, remember Shin Hati. But these ones, they like this one looks really nice. That's a cool picture. The next one is the Night Trooper, which the Hot Toys version is just called a Death Trooper. I don't know why they're calling this one the Night Trooper. But yeah, because they already released the Night Trooper. But this is the zombified version of the Death Trooper, Night Trooper, whatever, that you see in the show when it's in battle with Sabine, and like she cracks the helmet, I think, and you could see it's like the zombie version underneath. It looks nice. I know some people were saying it looks like it has a dad bod. I think it looks like a new sculpt. It doesn't look like it reuses the old sculpt from 2016. It looks like it's a brand new sculpt, which is good because the other ones were too skinny. Even the vintage collection ones are way too skinny. I've never been a huge fan of that figure, but for this version, for Black Series, it looks really nice. It looks good. I'm glad they did the cracked helmet. I mean, I guess they could have done both and included both, right? But it's nice. Or they could have done a 2-pack too, right? Because there were more than one of them. One with a cracked helmet, one with not. But this looks nice. Oh, I didn't notice that it has a little bit of gold on it, like the Night Troopers do. That's kind of cool. It has a little bit of gold. The next one is another figure from Skeleton Crew, SM33, coming to Black Series. And this is one that when I was watching the stream, one of the Black Series guys, Brandon, who was on the stream, was talking about how complex it was to make this one, because he has SM33 has, they try to replicate what you see in the show where the parts are all extendable, like his arms and legs, to make him like bigger, which I think was a really cool aspect of this character in that show. This looks really nice. It looks really nice. And he's got a couple shields, and he's got the little rat creature, which is absolutely tiny. A piece that I would fear to lose. There's the shields on him. I mean, he looks good. He might be a little hard to stand, I think, with the one peg leg. But he does look really nice. And there's his extended form right there, which is really cool. Even the torso extends. That is awesome. That is very, very awesome. I definitely want to pick this one up. Just from an engineering standpoint, like I really want to get this one. Oh yeah, there he is with the little rat guy in his face. Imagine if they did this for TVC. Can you imagine how small the little rat guy would be? I don't even think they would do it for TVC. I don't even think they would include it as an accessory. Definitely not one where you put it in his head like you can on this figure. This one, the head comes apart so you can put the rat guy in there, which is awesome. I don't think they would do that for TVC. I don't think it would be, logistically, it would be very challenging. So yeah, I do want him. And again, I'm jealous that the Black Series is getting SM33. They're getting the Death Trooper, Night Trooper, and they're getting Ezra. These are all things that figures that we haven't gotten in TVC that, you know, would be good for world building. I do think eventually we will get Ezra. I don't know if we'll get the others though. I think we're going to get Ezra eventually. I'm calling it now. I think we're going to get Ezra eventually in TVC from season 1 of Ahsoka. All right. Let's move on to TVC. So, okay. I just gotta really quick say, this was one of the best Hasbro Pulse fan streams for the Vintage Collection in a very long time. This was a very exciting Pulse fan stream for TVC collectors. It made me very happy because the character selection was just chef's kiss. It was perfect. It was perfect. This is the kind of variety and character selection that me as a longtime 3¼ inch collector, as a TVC collector, wants to continue to see, because it's exciting. It keeps things fresh, and it fills important gaps in our collections. So I just wanted to say to Hasbro, this is the way you do a Hasbro full. Can't even talk anymore. A Hasbro Pulse fan stream. All right, back to the pictures. Just wanted to make that clear. And I think my voice is starting to, because I'm alone talking to myself, it's just starting to. Sip of coffee. There we go. All right. So let's start off with. Okay, this is one that was being heavily teased in the last 1 to 2 weeks. Our pal Steve Evans, who we've had here on the show before, was posting stuff about this one, just strongly hinting that it was going to be announced. I don't know how anybody would have read it any other way than it being a teased, because he was talking consistently with Paul Sun Hung Lee, with who portrayed this character, Carson Teva. They were just like talking about it consistently for a little while. So I don't know how anyone would have interpreted it other than it being a tease for the actual announcement of the product. I am so glad that we actually beat. I mean, I don't like to talk about it as a competition, because I know a lot of people love Black Series, and I still buy some of them. But I love that this year was announced for TVC before Black Series. The card looks great. He's in his cockpit. Interestingly, he's not wearing the jacket on the card. To me, that's quite interesting. But the figure does have the jacket. And if you watch the live stream where he actually got to announce the figure, which was just really cool to see, a lot of fun. He talked about what the patches mean. Like, he got to design those patches, which I just thought was a really neat thing. And if I were ever in Star Wars, like if for some odd multiversal reason has Lucasfilm called and said, "Hey, Victoria, we need you to be in Star Wars for whatever reason," I mean, my answer obviously would be yes, but I would hope that I would get to design some sort of little element that would speak to me personally as a human being on this this materialistic existence that I am on. And I'm sure it would never happen, but I'm just saying, what if there was a reason that they would do that? Then yeah, I would definitely want to design my own thing. But yeah, figure looks awesome, you guys. It's 100% brand new tool. There is no reuse here at all, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But they did right by this character. They did right by this figure. The jacket looks great. I also want to note that I love how they're including photos like this now on these TVC reveals where you see the figure and then the accessories side by side. I don't know who's responsible for that, but that is the right call. Please do this on all future TVC figures. Like, show us this exact view right here with the figure and then the accessories right next to them. This looks awesome. I love the jacket on this figure. And I do wonder if they'll ever do a non-jacketed version. But the head sculpt, like, they nailed it. He looks so good. The helmet. Look at the proportion on the helmet to the head. Remember Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing gear when they did that? How big the helmet was? It would like float around. Or even Blue Leader. Remember when they did that? Like, look at this. Look at this here. This is a perfect fit. Perfect fit. I like the little dancing he's got going on there. Yeah, I'm tremendously excited for this guy. And I just want to show the helmet there, how good it fits. This figure is a win. All right, the next one. This is the one that, you know, even though she didn't win March Madness, she still won because she's actually getting made. What if she would have won, though, and then the next day she was announced? That would have been crazy, too. But it kind of worked out the way it did anyway, because, you know, a figure that won that contest is now like the number one that won that contest. That doesn't make any sense. Asajj Ventress, you guys, this has been in my top 10 for years. Whether it's March Madness, whether it's Last Figure Standing, this is a top 10. This has been a top 10 for me for a long time. Because they've made Asajj Ventress before, but not for a very, very long time. And certainly not a realistic interpretation of her Clone Wars look from the Clone Wars series. They did the Clone Wars. They did Clone Wars micro series, the Tartakovsky series. They did like more of a, and it didn't even look anything like from the series. It was based off like art or something. And then they did one in 2005 as part of a battle pack, which did look more like the Tartakovsky version. And then they did that was a battle pack. Then they did a comic pack version, a 2-pack, a few years later that was for its time a fairly nice figure. But we've not had a realistic interpretation of the Clone Wars, the Dave Filoni version until now. So we're finally filling a huge gap in our TVC collections. Asajj Ventress is absolutely essential to TVC, and I'm so glad that we're finally getting her. Look how fierce she looks in that card, in that image on the card. I also love how they're giving us the lit lightsabers and the unlit lightsabers. And if you look at the picture, you can tell. Let's move on to the next picture here. You can tell that both the unlit and the lit have the little peg on the bottom of the saber. That way you can connect them and make the longer staff. Whether you have them connected, whether you're using the lit or the unlit, you can do that. Perfect. Hasbro has been really good lately at giving us both a lit lightsaber and an unlit lightsaber. And I commend them on that, and I don't want them to ever stop doing that. We always need both. We always need both. So thanks to them for doing that. The figure, you guys, looks gorgeous. When they did the Black Series version, I still think that's one of the best. Like, I'd put that in the top 10 Black Series, the Asajj Ventress, along with Dooku. For TVC, like, it looks just as good. At the smaller scale, it looks just as good. One change from the Black Series is this this piece right here, that long strip that floats in front of her skirt. That was plastic on the Black Series, and the skirt was soft goods. On this one, the whole thing is soft goods, which I appreciate. I think that, like, the print on that looks awesome. I do have one concern about this figure. Like that looks awesome right there. The one concern I have is that in all of these pictures, none of them seem to show her with 90-degree bends at the elbows. All of the pictures of her, like you see her holding the lightsabers there, like looking at her left arm, it doesn't look like it's at a full 90-degree angle. So I don't think, again, based on these images alone, I've not held the figure. I won't know until I actually do. Based on these images alone, it does not look like she can bend her elbows at a full 90 degrees as the Black Series version did. That is a big concern for me because a character like this needs to be among the most posable out of all Star Wars action figures. As my friends at Bantha Skull say, Jedi level articulation. I mean, Asajj Ventress, she's one of those figures that just needs to have the bells and whistles, and it looks like she does, but the elbows, again, based only on these images, do not appear that they can bend at a full 90-degree angle. Okay, I'm looking at this picture right here, her right arm. Right, I'm looking at, okay, well, her arms are straight there. I'm looking at this picture here of both arms. Like this, the left one is not fully like pressed in because you can still see the joint. The right, though, it looks like maybe it's pretty close to being fully pressed in. This picture here, like the left looks good here, but it's kind of a weird angle for me to say whether or not it's fully 90 degrees. But the right looks like it's pressed in all the way, and it doesn't look like it's fully 90 degrees. Same with this picture here. Like it looks like it's bent all the way in, but the elbow on the left and the right, they don't look like a full 90 degrees. Same right here. The right elbow, it doesn't look like it can hinge all the way in. Again, based on these photos alone, I have to reserve final judgment for the actual production piece, but that is one concern I do have about Ventress. It does not overshadow how excited I am for this figure, but it is a concern that I have to mention because, you know, as a character like this needs to be able to have full range of motion in the elbows, and it looks from these photos like maybe she does not, but we'll see. All right. Here's one that was very exciting for me because this one was even on my March Madness like top 25. You guys, I never would have guessed that they were going to give us an Agent Kallus action figure in TVC. Like in my wildest dreams, I never thought we would honestly get this figure. I put him on my list because in my top 25, you know, I put a few at the end that were like, well, I know they're probably not going to make them, but I still want to mention them. I will say I had the Hot Kallus version on my list as opposed to the Season 1 version before he joined the Rebel Alliance, which I still love. I love that happened. That was a great plot point. But I'm very happy with this version. Look at that. Alexander Kallus. Card looks great. Look at the likeness on this figure. Nailed it. They nailed it. It does look like he uses the Imperial officer body. The lower arms are different. I hope he has a better range of motion than the last one did. The upper torso. It looks like maybe that piece is maybe retool. And then the head and accessories, of course, are brand new. Look at the mutton chops on his face. Like, really nice work. The accessory, you can see it fully splayed out here. I think it looks great. Such a fun accessory. I mean, even just being able to pose it like this is a cool pose right here. That is a cool pose. Figure looks incredible. It really looks incredible. I'm excited for this. I don't love the current Imperial officer body though. And I know that it's considered definitive. And I don't think they need to rush to do a new one because it's fairly recent, right? Within the last couple of years. But I'm just not a huge fan of the Imperial officer body because, well, you guys know what happened with Deidre Mira, right? Like, yeah. But besides that, I find it to be a little bit of a frustrating body. I find that it's kind of hard to get them to stand perfectly straight. Like, they're kind of hard to balance. Like when you, even though they have hinged rocker ankles, they still tend to be like, they're easy to fall forward or back, the figure. And then it's hard to get them to stand perfectly straight because even though they have a joint at the torso, it's not really usable. You can twist it side to side, but it doesn't help with with adjusting the posture, of the figure on your shelf. So I find it to be a kind of a frustrating sculpt. And also the elbows don't hinge a full 90 degrees. So maybe that's different on this version, but that remains to be seen. But either way, we're getting Agent Callus, and I just think that's the craziest, but also the coolest thing, like, in a long time. I cannot wait for Callus. I just hope we get Hot Callus. I just got to say it. I hope they give us Hot Callus at some point. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day I hope we get Hot Callus in our collections as well. And I do hope we see Agent Callus in Andor. Like, that would be awesome. I guess by that point he would need to be a rebel, right? And not an Imperial, perhaps. But I would imagine how awesome it would be to see him in live action. And then for sure we probably stand a good chance of getting him as a figure. That version of him. But yeah, this was a really exciting surprise. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, definitely. And then the last TVC figure before we get to the land speeder is Dengar. Another very interesting one because when this figure came out, it was VC01. I don't know why it was number 1. That to me, that has never made any sense with the numbering. Why would Dengar be number 1? But he was. And we're now going to be getting that figure with photo reel and some paint updates re-released in TVC for 2025. Now that's interesting to me. For first reason, it was VC01. So this tells me that even the earliest of vintage collection figures are not off the table for Hasbro to revisit. The other reason is that, well, it's Dengar, right? It's kind of random. Like, why Dengar? Like, why not a different figure, that like a Magna Guard or a Grievous, which also need to be updated? But why Dengar? I have no idea. Is Dengar in Andor season 2? I don't know. I have no idea. It's just interesting because it just seems like kind of a random choice. Now, this version is VC01A. It has a different card back from the original, different name, pill color. It's a green this time. The last one was blue. So it is a card back variant. And the figure does have photo reel this time around. So let's take a look at that. I think it looks really nice. I will say that early Dengar I think it had blue eyes, which actually it's got a really good likeness on the original release. I don't think it needed an update, but this version here, I mean, I can't really tell. I think they look brown, the eyes. I don't know if they're blue, but I think the original one had blue eyes. And I was very happy with the original. One thing I do like better about this version, though, is that the paint apps on the armor look a lot better. The original one had like some different kind of weird coloring on it, especially like on the legs, and this one does not. This one just looks really nice. It was a good figure back then. It still holds up. This is very low priority for a resculpt. And he comes with the same accessories he had before. So he is a good choice for a repack, or a repaint rather. But he is an odd choice in terms of like why Dengar. It's just a really random choice, and it leaves me with questions. But I think he looks better overall than the original did, except for the head. That the jury's out on that one. We'll see when we get the final figure, like which one has the better eye paint. But the outfit looks better for sure. And the last thing is the land speeder. The land speeder, which you guys, we knew this was coming. Now this is interesting because let's talk about the land speeder first. No, or should we talk? Let's talk about Luke first. How about that? So the land speeder comes with Luke. Packaging here looks very much like the original TVC version from Phase 1 of TVC. The photos look very similar to that. And then here is the carded Luke figure. Okay, so it's Luke on a deluxe card. I will say, this is what a deluxe figure should be, not MoMA Nadon on an original 96er that we needed on a classic standard size card. Not that. This is right here is a deluxe figure. A mainline figure with updated paint apps, with extra accessories, included with a land speeder. To me, that's perfect. That's what a deluxe figure should be. I think the picture is great. I love the picture, actually. And the figure, you can see all the accessories he comes with. So let's talk about the Luke figure first. So he's got the hat. He's got the poncho. He's got the long blaster. And he's got weathering on his boots. That was a big complaint for the original release that just came out within the last couple months. People were kind of frustrated by the lack of paint on the boots. Hasbro went back. They updated the boots. They now have some sand on them. And they look a lot better. They look a lot better. The head sculpt, I don't know that any changes are made there as far as the paint goes, but it looks really good. He's got the macro binoculars, so you can spy on Tusken Raiders. Hopefully not while they're like in the shower or anything. Hopefully just while he's on the lookout. And I mean, this is really nice. Lightsaber hilts there. Actually, the lightsaber looks kind of weird there, doesn't it? But yeah, and then he's got the little droid communicator that the original one came with too. But is it sculpted on this time, or is it? No, it looks like it's pegged in. So it's really the same figure from before with some updated paint on the legs, the lower legs, and then he's got a soft goods lower skirt this time so that he can ride in the land speeder without trouble. There's the lit lightsaber. So it's a good deluxe figure. This is what a deluxe figure should be, I believe. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. Let's move on to the land speeder. So I thought that this land speeder was going to be completely brand new. We were speculating on it before. We talked about the biggest giveaway for me was the windshield. Like, it looked more like round and more concave than the original release, which is a little lower profile, a little more flat. This one is a retool. It's not 100% brand new. I thought it was going to be the Black Series one scaled down, and it's not quite that. It's the original 2012 version, retooled. So yes, the windshield is new. You okay over there? And it has an opening hood this time, and it has updated paint, and it has an area for C-3PO's legs to fit in the back. So it is a retool. This is like a retool. It's not all new. It's not just a repaint either. It's somewhere in the middle. The opening hood, I think, looks really nice. This is a feature the Black Series version had, which was cool. I mean, essential? No, probably not, but it is cool. I will say the paint details on this, though, you guys, like, looks really, really nice. Like look at the paint on here. Probably looks even better than the Black Series version, I would say, in terms of the paint. In this picture, it looks really nice. Proportionately, it looks great. And I think a big part of it, again, is that windshield being more concave than the original version was. Oh, and there's the exploded view I was talking about earlier. It shows all the accessories. So yeah, the droid communicator is a separate piece right there. Here's a couple more pictures of the land speeder so you can see. It's interesting because okay, check this out. Look at how little paint there is on the back. Like the engines, there's not much paint there. The back of it, there's not much paint there. But we jump back to that image I just showed you of the front and look at that. And I mean, I kind of get it. That's where most of the wear is going to happen, right? Even on a real car. These images aren't working. Even on a real car, most of your rock chips and such are going to happen at the front of the car because that's where things are coming from, right? That's where the wind is hitting it the hardest. But when you move to the back, I feel like it's just, you get a lot at the front, but not a lot at the back. There's something going on here and like some scratches on the side, like that's cool. But there's nothing on the engines. Look at the engines. They're completely devoid of any kind of like wear and tear. Except for this top one. Maybe there's a little bit there. Very, very slightly. But these side engines, there's not really any paint wear. This version of the land speeder also features the original feature that the original version had, where there's these little clear wheels on the bottom, and you can pull the shifter on the inside of the cockpit, and it retracts them inside the land speeder, so you can make it like float around manually. But if you leave them down, it just makes it look like it's hovering. It was a really cool effect in the original. I wish it was a little higher off the ground than it is. It's nice that feature has been retained, because I think it is a better feature than the Black Series version had. One concern I have, again, there's always a concern, is if you have the original TVC land speeder, then you know that when you put figures in the cockpit like Luke and Obi-Wan, they're crowded in there. They made that better for the Black Series version, but if this is the same configuration as before, I am concerned that it's going to be a very crowded fit for Luke and Ben Kenobi in there. Thankfully, they did make a little bit more space in the back for 3PO's legs to fit, and I trust that that's going to be sufficient for 3PO. But I am a little concerned that there's still going to be too much crowding going on here for Luke and Ben, but we'll see. You can still clip the long rifle on the side just like you could on the old one. So, I mean, the end result here, I would say more good, more positive than negative. But again, I am a little concerned about the fitment of the figures. And there's a little bit of a lack of paint on the engines. But I mean, other than that, pretty solid. I still think Black Series scaled down probably would have been the best approach. But this is better than a straight repaint, obviously. Even here, like you can see how much room Luke takes up. Like I'm just imagining Ben in there, like it's going to be kind of crowded again. But we'll see. Maybe they widened it. I don't know. So yeah, that covers the Vintage Collection reveals. Again, amazing day for the Vintage Collection. All of this was just solid day of releases. It made me very happy. It was a very happy like Star Wars collector day for me and for a lot of people. So yes, to the 51 of you that are in here, thank you very much for bearing with me for all those Hasbro Pulse stream reveals. We are 2 hours and 15 minutes into the show, but we're not done yet. We're going to keep going a little bit more because there is still another segment, a whole other segment of the show to cover, our final segment, in fact. Before I get to that, though, I do want to see your comments because there are a lot of them. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can before my voice goes out completely. Let's see. Lots and lots of comments. Over 50 comments since I last looked. Let's see here. I think I went a little too far. Okay. I'm suddenly really hungry. As soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna have to go eat something. Okay, those are the hot toys. Okay. July through November, great stream for TVC indeed. Adam says this Ezra was my most wanted in all scales. Awesome. I'm happy for you, Adam. Death Trooper isn't as great as I wanted, Britt says. Steve says, they got me with the land speeder. I do think it's cool and haven't had anything like that in a long time, but plan to get the 3/4 inch stuff back on display. Awesome. He's not creepy enough. Is it the dad bod? Is that what it is on that figure, Britt? That's not quite there for you? Yeah, Charlie says too, the Death Trooper has a thick mid. I mean, better than too thin, right? It is armor at the end of the day. You don't want it to be too skinny like the original releases were. Those were just way too emaciated. So, let's see here. Isn't the Death Trooper from Rogue One and Night Troopers from Ahsoka? Yes, technically true. But I'm thinking of the Hot Toys one. The Death Trooper on the box, it said Death Trooper, even though it was the Night Trooper, Death Trooper, Night Trooper kind of thing. I love how we're using the dots. No way, the mouse in the eye. Yeah, they did a nice job with the little rat guy in the eye on SM33 Black Series. Getting him just for the rat. Wow, $25 just for the rat. July through November says, I hope Hasbro hears that. This stream was great. It was great. It was one of the best Pulse streams for sure. Steve says, I think Dengar looks too clean. Okay. James says, Amazon has sent notice to the streets of Mos Eisley ships this week. I didn't realize that. I don't know that I've gotten that myself, but good to know. I'll be on the lookout for that. Trevor says, I'm glad these TVC reveals made so many people happy, but there haven't been any exciting reveals for me this year. Still waiting on Arleo or Frog Lady or something else out of left field. I mean, left field for me was like Callus. Like that was out of left field. Like, that was totally unexpected. But yeah, I hear you. Like I said earlier, more Cantina aliens are absolutely needed. Britt is jealous of Carson Teva. Usually it's the TVC collectors that are envious of Black Series releases. But yeah, I think he's going to be in Black Series. I can't see them not doing it at some point. Steve says, excited for that. Mos Eisley set 2. I did not get the Cantina, but yeah, with the land speeder, it will be great for display from my fresh setup I envision. I agree. Chad says, love this. Happy for our friend Paul. Long awaited. So glad, I would say. She was in my top 10 also. Yeah. Steve says, I love Asaja's front cloth piece. It isn't plastic. Posing will be amazing and look fluid. Yep. Darth Malik's lower missing jaw. I got 2, one to open, one to keep in package. That's how much I love Ventress. I did that, and then I ordered an extra one, a third one, just because there's so many like scenes I can imagine putting Ventress in. And that's one I would want a backup of, right? So I might even order another one at some point once it releases, who knows. Alex says they need to make the Bad Batch version of Asajj. Would be cool. Steve agrees that the elbow range maybe isn't as great as we hoped it would be. Again, we'll see. These are just the images. But yeah, it doesn't look promising, but we'll see. Howlrunner Base, hello. Thank you for joining in. Adam says, this is the first time I ordered a TVC case in so long. These are so cool. Awesome. And I know there was the price increase thing, right? Did they ever change the price on Entertainment Earth, or did they leave them the same? Let me take a quick look. But yeah, that was a controversy earlier this week too, is that the prices the prices on these TVC figures were yeah, it's higher. They're $18.99 now on Entertainment Earth as opposed to $16.99. But on Amazon they were $24.99, but then they fixed the price later in the day. Hasbro Pulse, they were still $16.99. The same with the Land Speeder, was cheaper on, it was like $56.99 on Hasbro Pulse, and like $66.99 on Entertainment Earth, like just crazy. But which it still is, I think. But yeah, there is price increases on these. But to Adam's point, if you order the case of this wave, you're paying the old $16.99 price, and it really is a good case assortment because it's pretty well balanced. So I would advise, if you want, just get the wave, because you'll get one of each to open and one to keep carded, but not 100%, because Ponda Baba and Dengar are only one per case. But Carson Teva, you get 2. Asajj Ventress, you get 2, and Callus, you get 2 of those. So I think that's a pretty good case assortment for sure. Howard our base says, this is hot Callus. Is it? I mean, I guess that's up to you, right? I think they're both hot Callus, but yeah. Rick says, yeah, these 3 TVC figure reveals were a glorious day. Glad to see Rebels getting more love. Me too. I've said it before. I know people are going to throw tomatoes at me and eggs and stuff, but at this point, I've been collecting this 3 3/4 Star Wars line for since 1996, 29 years. All I personally would need, other than completing like the Rogue One and the Bad Batch and Solo, all I personally really want beyond that is just original trilogy, prequel trilogy, Clone Wars, and Rebels. That's it. Anything else is like gravy, but those are the focuses that I'm invested in personally at this stage in the game. Howard our base adds that the chest armor seems to be an overlay. The sculpting around the stomach match the pre-existing officer sculpt. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. Darth Malik says, I've seen people say that the body looks misproportioned, but his body shape really does look like that from Empire Strikes Back. Dengar? It does, right? It looks like Empire Strikes Back. It does. TVC Mackin, how's it going? Some great TVC reveals this week. Yep. Thumbs up for me. Let's do it. Fireworks, fireworks. Come on, fireworks. There we go. Got him. July through November. Want that deluxe Luke so badly. Gotta get the land speeder. Adam says, I was surprised the price on the land speeder was not higher. How much is it? 60. I think it was $56.99 from Hasbro Pulse. I think it pre-sold out though. Entertainment Earth was like a lot more, like $12 more or something. Actually, I don't want to give you bad information. Let me take a look. It was $56.99 on Pulse. It's $66.99 on $10 more on Entertainment Earth. And it's not on Amazon. I don't know if it's going to be, but it's not on Amazon. Yeah, sorry about that, Steve. He has the long box on the back of his belt also, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know too. Thank you for clearing that up, Chad, that the belt itself is maybe different too on Luke. Removable long rear pouch, Jason says as well. Chad says, without splitting hairs, that is what TVC has always been. Repacks, retools, refreshed, and some new. You're right. That's 100% true. Adam says, that's pretty much what my 6-scale Jazzing Land Speeder paint looks like. Like the TVC version? If so, then as long as it's accurate, that's always my biggest thing with the paint. Is it accurate? If it's accurate, and Adam, I trust your word on this more than my own, then I'm good with it. Steve says he is going to be adding paint. July through November says a clear stand that plugs into the bottom of the land speeder is an option. Would have been nice. That would have been nice. But because it is a retool, I do wonder if there is actually space for that. Like they made space for the Black Series version to do that. Even had they not, you could still include a clear base. It would be flat on the top and you just rest the speeder like on top of the base, something like that. I have the old land speeder. It's right up there. It's out of reach though. But I think the time was right for this, and it's been a long while. I'm happy with the speeder and this Luke Deluxe. This version will go with my Maz Eisley street display that just arrived today. Awesome. Rabbit Hammer, I'm going to sign off here. I love the show as always. I will watch the rest later. Take care. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. I know we have been going a long time. It's a long time for me to go by myself. It really is. And my voice is like really starting to feel it. Bum Callus doesn't come with the retracted version of the weapon. That's something I had not noticed. It doesn't fold. I assumed that it would fold like the Zeb one did. But if it doesn't, that's kind of a bummer. Is the Sand Trooper new to you? We totally ignored that. Let's go back. I totally forgot to talk about that. I'm going to tell you what I think because I do have thoughts there. All right. Sand Speeder. That's what I mean. I've been talking a long time. Land Speeder. I mean, Sand Speeder would make sense, right? But Sand Speeder. Okay. So there are images here of Imperial Stormtroopers. Let me tell you what I see here. On the right side, if you look at this one right here, can you guys see the cursor like from the mouse? If I'm circling around the Stormtrooper, can you see me? Like, can you see my cursor? Because I cannot. I don't know if you guys can see it. Just let me know if somebody can let me know, please, if you can see like where I'm like going around the Stormtrooper with the cursor. But the one on the far right, or not the one on the far right, but the one like with the long rifle that's near the far right. Some of you say yes to the cursor, some say no. Okay. Well, I'll keep trying. Maybe if you're on a bigger screen, you can see it. So the one with the rifle on the right side, interestingly, that looks like the Rogue One Stormtrooper. And the reason I'm saying that is if you look at his lower legs, you can see where it has like the flared out. Actually, I would say it about both of them on the far right. The lower legs look like the Stormtrooper from Rogue One, where they had they were wearing chaps, like the wider like legs. That's what I'm seeing on the far right there. So these look like Rogue One. The ones in the background over here above them, like to their 10 o'clock, those look like the A New Hope Stormtroopers. Because I don't see the flared out legs. I don't know why they would mix and match. I really don't. If we go look at C-3PO, which that's the old C-3PO, which is atrocious. They need to update that. If you look at the one above C-3PO, the helmet on that one's different. The helmet on that one is different. That one to me looks like a TVC 1.0 Sand Trooper. I don't remember if they released one with an orange pauldron though. In that line, I know there was the white one, the white pauldron. I don't remember there was an orange pauldron, but this to me looks like TVC 1.0 back here. You can also see like the knees, like they look a little bit different, right? And maybe my observations are wrong, but this is just kind of what I'm going off of. It's like looking at like the ones on the right, that looks like Rogue One because those ankles, like the lower legs look really wide, but the ones back here, they look like the A New Hope version. Except they don't have the oh, and also the ones on the right side, they don't have the holster, right? Which is obviously Rogue One. So maybe the ones back here, I can't tell if they have the holster or not. It's too small of an image in the angle, but it doesn't look like they do. The one up here with the pauldron, that looks like TVC 1.0 Sand Trooper. The one over here on the left where you can't see the head because it's obscured by the Luke Skywalker call out right there. That one looks like TVC 1. No, that looks like the newer A New Hope with the slimmer legs. And then this one right here at the front, like the main one that Luke and 3PO and Ben are looking at, to me, this looks like the A New Hope TVC Sand Trooper with the wearing the backpack of the TVC 1.0 Sand Trooper. So I don't think any of these represent what a new Sand Trooper would look like. I think this is just like a mix and match of figures and parts. I don't know why you would use Rogue One troopers on this kind of a picture. To me, that's just kind of odd. And then a TVC 1.0 one, like way in the back, that's kind of strange. And then like a kind of a mix and match for this guy right here. But that is definitely the old backpack. And probably the pauldron is... Do you guys remember the 4-pack of Stormtroopers they did a couple years ago, a few years back? That looks like the pauldron that came off of, that came in that set. So I don't think you're seeing an actual Vintage Collection 2.0 Sand Trooper in any of these examples. I think that those are all just compiled for the purpose of this photo, but I don't think any of those are hints of a new Sand Trooper. I don't think they would have showed this image if any of these were leaks or reveals. So I don't think any of these are what you're going to get for the next Sand Trooper. I think the next Sand Trooper is going to be based off the A New Hope TVC Sand Trooper. But it's going to have an all-new, probably, I would think it's going to have an all-new backpack that's a little smaller than what you see here. And it's going to have, I would hope it's going to have the corrected knee armor that the Sand Troopers have compared to Stormtroopers in the original movie. So yeah, now that we spent the last 5 minutes dissecting this image, as we enjoy doing, I hope that explains it. And I firmly believe that, well, again, it's a weird picture because you have different eras of Stormtroopers in one picture, which I don't understand why. But also, I don't think any of these show you what the new Sand Trooper is going to look like. And there will be. I can't imagine Return to Tatooine is going to happen without a new Sand Trooper. But I don't think any of these represent what that's going to be. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Very kind, Mary. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really, really sweet of you. Really appreciate that. And thank you for your comment as well. I do what I can, and I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Gonna scroll back up. There's still 54 of you here watching. You guys are wild. You guys are crazy hanging out with me this long, but it's okay. Thank you for being here. Where did we leave off? Ooh, Rick, you already got the Streets of Mos Eisley? That's awesome. I think the time was right for this, and it's been a long while. Overall, I'm happy with the speeder and this Luke Deluxe. This version will go with my Mos Eisley Street display that just arrived today. Awesome. I can't wait to see the pictures of that, Rick. Runner Bay says, I found that out that day that I was totally fine paying $24.99 for standard TVC figures. LOL, who knew? Yeah, that was wild, but I'm glad they fixed it. I don't know why that happened. They must have just been thinking Black Series when they listed that, I guess. Trevor says, picked up PZ4CO and Hask Thug, Force Awakens, and Moloch from Solo. Nice. 17.28 ordered 2 speeders. I did too, right? For Luke, right? I need to have one to open, one to keep carded. But yeah, I mean, it's a land speeder. You gotta have it. Let's see here. Hello, Bruce says, great show. Enjoy drinking coffee with you all. These are not the ones you're looking for. Yeah. None of those are the Sand Troopers you are looking for. Trust me. None of those. I don't know why they use that image. I mean, I don't know why they use such old figures on that image and mixed and matched different eras of Stormtrooper, but I don't know. Only the one in the foreground is the new one. It's probably a prototype, and they only had one for use in the photo shoots. They populated the rest of the scene with figures from home. Could be, but I mean, if you're Hasbro and this is your official product image, it's weird that you would use those old, outdated Rogue One troopers. It's just really weird. And the Sand Trooper from TVC 1.0. The black box had an orange pauldron sand trooper release, I believe. Okay, thanks for confirming, Hellrunner Base. I forgot. There's been how many hundreds of these over the years. I really hope they aren't crazy enough to re-release the TVC 1.0 Sand Trooper. I don't think that's going to happen. I think people would be very unhappy if they did. The Black Series one had a bad warped helmet. She's 17.28 says yes. That was a nice figure though. Just a humble collector making their way through the galaxy. I like to think so. Our loyalty is with the Cantina with Debash. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Adam. I did an expansion set for the Streets of Mos Eisley play set. We'll send you pics via Instagram. I'll be on the lookout. I missed new acquisitions. You did not miss new acquisitions, Sasha. Don't worry. You did not. Delvy and Seek, been a long time. Good to see you. I thought the recent TVC announcements were really good. They were. They were awesome. One of the best Pulse streams yet. 17.28. I agree with you after you dissected the scene and it made it make sense. I'm glad. Huckleberger. No, I'm late to the party, but I picked up a razor. Okay, we're going to get into new acquisitions right now. I think that covers it for the Hasbro Star Wars. And yeah, we're going to move on to our very last segment of the evening. Here we go. Here we go.
Good. New acquisitions.
All right. So our new acquisitions. What have you added to your collections? My friends, let me know in the comments what you've added to your collections since we last aired last Friday of last week. And I will call them out. Usually I let the guests go first. Our guests couldn't make it, so I'm going to go first before I call you guys out. So let me show you what I got. Can I make myself a little bigger here? There you go. All right. So I'm going to start off. I was in Texas last week. As you guys know, my dear grandmother passed away a couple of weeks ago. So I went to Texas for her service. And it was a challenging week. It still is a little bit tough, but I was at the Target I grew up going to as a kid, and I finally got these Batman Returns, Batman Forever figures that Spin Master has been making. Curiously, they never really went online, and when they did, they sold out really quick. I did get the Batmobile a while back, like a month or two ago, but I hadn't had the standalone figures yet. So I do intend to open these. I'm not going to keep them packaged, but yeah, this is Batman. I hadn't seen him in store yet. I'm holding it's funny. I'm holding the figure to the camera on my laptop, but I should be holding it to the actual camera I'm using here. So it looks really nice. I mean, it looks like the kind of thing that would be cool to keep on card, but I can't really do that. Can't do that with everything. So put that aside. I picked up Robin. Robin looks really nice. Very much like the 1995 figure, once again. Here's the back. And then, let's see this. Got the Riddler, which previously all I had seen was the Riddler, like locally. I had not seen the other ones in store. So there's the Riddler. Again, it looks like the 95 figure, just scaled down a little bit, I think. Maybe it's the same size. The one I'm missing still is Two-Face. They didn't have Two-Face, so I still need to get Two-Face. And then I was intrigued by this right here. It says that coming soon, and it shows Superman. So I don't know like what their plans are with Superman, but Superman is coming at some point. Hopefully it's Christopher Reeve Superman. No, I'm out of focus. Next thing I got the Black Series Commander Bakara, which is, again, I don't buy all the Black Series. Come on, focus. I don't buy all the Black Series, but I do buy. I do pick and choose. Clone Troopers, it kind of depends. this is one that I did want to get because, I do like, I do like my Clone Wars Black Series figures. The next thing I got from Amazon, and I think Bakara was from Pulse, but this one was from Amazon. I got the Marvel Legends Sam Wilson Captain America, and he looks really nice. I don't know why some of these things are focusing and some are not, but he looks really nice. He's got a lot of accessories. It is a deluxe figure, so it's a little pricier. It was like $32.99, I want to say. But it looks great. He looks cool. The next thing I got, I have two more. Okay, let's start off with this one. I went to Disneyland on Wednesday because I'm on spring break and I went to Disneyland. And I had seen that they had something that online, like in the pictures, that I really wanted. So this is not something I would normally pick up, and it kind of is, kind of isn't. But I just thought it was so cute, and I had to have it. I got the new Thumper Easter popcorn bucket, or no, spring bucket is what they're calling it. It's Thumper from Bambi. Look how cute he is. He's super cute. I saw him and I had to have him. Like the colors, he's just so vibrant and colorful and fun and just adorable. Absolutely adorable. And the popcorn, look at his cottontail. The popcorn goes in there. Of course, I didn't put popcorn in there. Actually, mine came with breadsticks, you guys. Isn't that weird? The location I got it from Alien Pizza Planet in Tomorrowland, and it came with breadsticks, which I was fine with. I don't really like eating popcorn in a theme park just because I have to like touch it. I'm like touching things. So I'm a germaphobe. But yeah, so he's got a lanyard. So not a lanyard, but like, so you can carry him around. His ears are stabbing me in the neck, and I don't think this is going to work. But he is just, I was carrying him around on my arm. He is just so precious. I don't really have a ton of like spring Easter decorations, but this will be the start of one. And look, he's about to thump his leg. Look at that. He's about to thump his leg. He's going to start doing his thing. And he's going to ruin all these flowers. Hopefully not, though. But yeah, I love how he's carrying the egg. And he's just so cute. Like, I had to have him. I had to have him. Okay, last but not least. Am I in focus? Yes. Last but not least, I got my Hot Toys Range Trooper. I got the Range Trooper, you guys. The Range Trooper. This was a limited item on Sideshow, but I got lucky. I was able to get it when they put the pre-order up. And I loved this design in Solo. Like, this is one of the most unique modern era Stormtrooper designs. I love the Shore Trooper, but like this is a really cool, unique design, like a cold weather that's not a snow trooper. Like this is really neat. And I love that they're going to be in Andor season 2 with different boots. So this is cool. I cannot wait to get it in the detox. I don't know where it's going to go. So he's not going to be on display for a little while because, as you guys know, I just redid all those in recent months. So I don't want to go through there again and redo all of that. But those are my acquisitions for this week. Thank you for watching them. And now I'm going to get to your acquisitions this week. Here we go. All right, let's see. Dodson says, last week I managed to snag one of those Big Lost World T-Rex head puppets. Ooh. Mint at the flea market, forget this, $10. And I also snagged a JP3 Hatchling Raptor and Military General gun for $10. Are you kidding me? Wow, that's really good. I mean, okay, so you got the hand puppet from the Lost World for $10? Are you kidding me? Dodson, that is a great deal. Like seriously, like I don't even know, like
That belongs in a museum.
Like, wow. Especially if it's mint. Congrats on that. That's a really good find. PW1 says, my acquisitions, Artist, Funko Pops, Fett, and five Streets of Mos Eisley. Comes Monday and got the IG-12 Black Series on sale, $13.50. Wow. That's a really good deal for IG-12. 5 Streets of Mos Eisley, man. I got to see what you're cooking up there with those, Chad. Like, I really got to see that. And we need to get you back on the show. We should get you on the show soon. 17.2 Nate, I agree with you after you dissected the scene. Okay, I think I might have gotten that one already. And once again, Huckleberger picked up the Razor Crest and Ghost from Facebook Marketplace. They're amazing, but I will be having ramen for dinner the rest of the year. I mean, we make sacrifices as collectors, right? We could be using our dollars for our hard-earned dollars for a multitude of other things that aren't little plastic humans and aliens and droids, robots on our shelves, but that's how it is. Would you consider getting a 3D printer? July 30 member asks. I would. I just don't have the room for it anywhere. I don't. I'm going to be getting one at work though. I think that I'll have access to. So, Adam says it's been a long week. The only new acquisition I can actually remember is the Hot Toys Sand Trooper. He's waiting for his dude back to ship. Very nice. I want to see photos of that too. It's going to be awesome once you get it set up. Dawson says, so the puppet I snagged was a Lost World T-Rex Rhisaurus, not the full body version, just the heads and hands version with some minor damage. Greg says, I just bought those Batman figures too. Looks like we bought a few of the same things this week. You're just reminding me, Greg. You're just reminding me. Okay, let's go back into solo layout again. My friend Greg here is just reminding me. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Right here. This guy, the Stormtrooper. This is another acquisition I failed to mention because he's back here and he's not over here at the acquisition. Let me show guys, check this out. This guy right here is a $10, I think he was $10, Stormtrooper from Target. Now, my friend Greg let me know that this was in stock and I ordered him. And this is one of those, I know that, you know, people used to say these are shampoo bottles, but look at the sculpt on this guy. I mean, I know he's missing a little bit of black paint here and there, but look at the likeness. Look at the proportion. Like, it's just such a nice figure. I don't normally buy the scale when it comes to Hasbro, but like I saw it, like the pictures that Greg sent, and I was like, I gotta have that. And I'm glad I got it because it's a really nice display piece. Just don't look at him from the back because again, he is missing some black paint. But I mean, come on. Especially like the front, like the torso upwards. That is solid. I kind of want more now. But I know I shouldn't. All right. He's going to go back to his little spot right here. He's currently going to be a part of my background for the foreseeable future. Thank you, Stormtrooper. And now I'm out of focus again. There you go. All right, let's see here. Where did I leave off? Rick says, this week I got the Black Series Savage Press, 2 of the TVC Mos Eisley playsets, and TVC Halloween Sabine, and the next set of X-Men Marvel Legends. My dude, how did you get all that stuff? I don't have any of that stuff. Although I don't think I ordered the Marvel stuff, but the other stuff I did. And I don't have any of it. I'm peanut butter and jelly right now. Hellrunner Base says, I found the Lego Onyx Cinder at ATTE on clearance at Walmart. Fun sets. I also finally got Rey's, the Black Series lightsaber, as well as Sheezer, Bakara, Luke, and Kelnaka from Black Series. Kelnaka is really good, isn't he? That's cool. You got Rey's lightsaber. And Sheezer looks great. I saw Sheezer the other day. Where did I see Sheezer? I don't remember where I saw him. Can you guys hear the sirens or sirens going on? The lovely things of living in a big urban area. Let's see. I found Two-Face and got him on Thursday. Nice. That's the last one I need, Greg. Two-Face. Imagine if they made Batman Return stuff, you guys. I hope they do that before Spin Master loses the license back to Mattel, but I hope they do Batman Returns. Please, 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 Spin Master, do Batman Returns. Bruce says, my latest The Epic Heroes series, Marvel Flying Captain America and Marvel's Falcon, got them last night at a Target near my work. Very nice. Those look really cool. I want those too. The little 4-inch Marvel Epic Heroes. I want those. Charlie says, Hot Toys Mark III Red and Chrome. Truly remarkable. In the middle of an Iron Man display for multiple figures. It really pops. Just have to use the gloves to handle. You guys, I don't have the Hot Toys Iron Man. I feel like I need one. When I was at Disney the other day, I saw the Avengers Campus exclusive Iron Man. And he comes with like the little spider from the Spider-Man ride. The Web Slingers ride. I feel like I need an Iron Man. I thought about getting that one because my annual pass would apply and I would get a discount for that. But then I realized it doesn't come with an unmasked head, like a Tony Stark head. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to get an Iron Man, I need a Tony Stark head. I'm kind of thinking I want to be like our Avengers era, like the first Avengers. Because I have the 2012 Captain America. I have the 2012 Loki. And I think that's it from 2012. But I feel like I want an Avengers Iron Man. I know they recently did a 2.0, but it wasn't like the version from the end of the movie, and that's kind of the one that I would be more interested in. So I don't know. I feel like I need one. What's my best option? If you're in the know, if you know what you recommend saying, let me know in the comments. 17.28 says, only thing I picked up this week was Aurora Scene. Ooh, I love the name change. Aurora Scene. Fancy. Harana Base says, Thumper. Yes. Mary says, missed out on the Range Trooper. I'm sorry to hear that, Mary. I hope that I hope they make more. My voice is now definitely starting to go. And it'll be gone the rest of the day, but that's okay. It's worth it. I think with the new show, with Andor season 2, excuse me, I think that they will find a way to get the Range Trooper back out. At least that's what I'm hoping. With the new boots, of course. Charlie says, note the Range Trooper got to be very gentle with the neck fur. It is very fragile. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. I thank you for letting me know. I haven't watched any reviews or anything, so I had no idea. Alex says, I got the Black Series, Shadows of the Empire. She's there and picking up Savaja Press later today. Awesome. Dodson says, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was shocked as well. Nice. Was it spearmint or peppermint? Rick says, for folks asking about the Howler and Mos Eisley pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. Oh, wow. Big Bad Toy Store got them early. That's cool. And Greg says, oh, and I also got the Titan Series Stormtrooper behind you. Very nice. Oh, Titan Series. Okay. I forgot to mention the name of that line. Dodson says, you even have a bit for indie, and rest assured it's being handled with proper care on my shelf. I wish I can afford a glass box to preserve it. Yes. Preserve that thing. Charlie says, just wait a little longer once they roll out the LED plug-in figures for the near future. Charlie says, okay, same thing. Cool. And I think those are all the new acquisitions. I don't see anybody else mentioning what they got this week, so I think we are good there. Now I do see we are at 2 minutes and 50. I see we're at 2 hours and 53 minutes. Should we keep going until we hit 3 hours? Should we? Let me know. So Charlie, okay, so what you're saying is LED plug-in figures in the near future, Hot Toys Iron Man. Okay, so if I'm going to get a Hot Toys Iron Man, I should wait then, it sounds like. Because there's going to be an LED plug-in feature. See, I don't know. I don't know that I would plug it in is the one thing. I don't know if I would plug it in. Because my DTOS, as you guys have seen, the lighting in there, I installed the lighting. It took me forever to install the lighting on those DTOS. I never want to do it again. And I hope they never go out because that's going to be a headache. I didn't configure them in a way for there to be additional, and I'm sure I could go back and retrofit it, but I did not set it up so that I could connect other power to other ways to connect power to those. Again, I could probably do it. Do I want to do it? Heck no. Heck no. But so that would not be a factor for me personally, because if they have batteries, then okay, I just press the button and then I turn things on every now and then. But if I have to plug it in, to me that is like a more challenging thing. So that's not a factor for me. But I definitely want an Iron Man, and I do want an Iron Man with a Tony Stark head. And I do want an Iron Man, preferably that is from the original Avengers movie. Although my favorite armor for Iron Man is actually the Mark 8 armor from Iron Man 3. I don't know why. Ever since that movie, that's always been since then, that's been my favorite Iron Man armors, is the Mark 8 armor. And I know that is a Hot Toys option too. But again, I want to focus. Should I get my favorite one though, or should I do 2012? I don't know. These are big decisions, the kind of things that keep me up at night. Adam says go for 3 hours. Dodgen says go for 3 hours. You guys, I don't know. My voice is going to last for another 4 minutes, but let's make it work. Let's make it work. 3 hours and release the balloons and confetti. I forgot how to do that. I haven't learned all the gesturing. Like, I know the fireworks is this. I know the heart. I guess I gotta wait for that. I know the heart is the other one, like that. Does the open hand do anything? 2 open hands? No. Does thumbs down do anything? I should have seen that one coming. I don't know what the confetti is. Is it like, is there a certain gesture? Like, I haven't. Is it shaking your hands? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do confetti. Probably when it happens, it's going to be a complete accident, and then I'm never going to remember how I did it. Maybe somebody knows that uses StreamYard here. Hot Toys figures really come alive when illuminated. I know. When I made my YouTube video of the display a couple months ago, like I turned everything on that I could. Most everything, I think. I turned them on, the lights. But it was just battery operated. But I also don't like to dig out figures just to turn on a light feature, because that's annoying. Charlie says Mark 3 2.0 or Mark 85 battle damage is my recommendation. That's from that's the one from Endgame, right? Yeah, I thought about that one, but I'm trying to stick with more like earlier Avengers if I can, like the original Avengers movie. Or should I do Mark 8? I don't know. We can sit in meditative silence. Okay, let's do that. Then everybody will tune out. Hot Runner Base says, Victoria, what do you think of the celebration exclusive the Black Series Vision Ronin figure? We did talk about that. So when the stream is over, Hot Runner Base, if you want to rewind a little bit, toggle or whatever it is, scrub or whatever the right term is these days. Back to that point, we do talk about those. But in short, I think they're pretty cool. Balloons and confetti is peace sign. Oh, thank you. Let's try that. Ooh, you are the best, Chad. No confetti? I only got balloons? I want my money back. Okay, at least we got the balloons. At least we got that working. Thank you again. Oh, Mary says it. Even Mary knows. That's awesome. If you want to check it out, I posted a small project I mentioned. I was working on a couple of live streams back, sending back $16 worth it though. Okay. Will do. Oh, peace sign on both hands is something. All right, let's try that. There's the confetti. Woo. I'm learning so much. And balloons. I got the confetti and okay. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for sharing that. Now I know the secret. So now anytime somebody invites me on a show, I can annoy them by doing this. Oh, I didn't get the balloons that time. Okay, that's all right. Mm-hmm. And yay. All right, we got 5 seconds, you guys, till we hit the 3 hour mark. I've never gone for 3 hours by myself because it ruins my voice. You know, I love to talk on this show, but I don't talk a lot in real life. Actually, no, I'm lying. I do because I'm a teacher. I do talk a lot in real life. But usually at work, I use like a microphone plugged into a it's a headset microphone plugged into a little thing that I wear on my waist, and then I talk like that because my voice like doesn't go well. You guys know the story. I had thyroid cancer and had to have surgery, and I don't know that it affected my voice, but I feel like if I talk too long, it kind of maybe to some extent there is an effect. I don't know. Maybe it's just always been like that. But anyway, we are at the 3 hour mark. You guys, this has been a blast. I carried a whole 3 hour show by myself, and it wasn't the end of the world. Thank you very much. At first I was like, I have to do this on myself, but it worked. It worked. You guys are the best. Honestly, like I would not be doing this show if it wasn't for you guys. That's the honest truth. Like you guys make the show what it is by your participation, by your comments, by just the positive vibe that you help create for this show. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here and for doing what you do. The Cantinians are the best. There's no better audience than the Cantinians here at VC. And I really appreciate you guys. Again, next week we'll be back to normal time. Friday night, 7:30. I'm lying. 6:30 p.m. Pacific is the time. And we are going to have Jedi Lex returning to Social Hour. She was on, I think, in September. And yeah, she was fabulous. And we're going to have her back, and it'll be fun time. But yeah. And we had a consistent love audience number throughout this show. It didn't really drop, so it's awesome. Thank you guys again. As far as things coming up, I am working now on a new video. I had filmed a video for my background, but now that I redid it, I'm going to have to refilm it. So give me a week, 2 weeks. I'm hoping. I don't want to promise anything to get that video up. I am going to be returning to Disneyland this week. I know they have that nice Death Star popcorn bucket, which I really want to show you guys as a new acquisition next Friday. So I hope I'm able to secure that. But Season of the Force has just started at Disneyland. And I will be checking it out this coming week. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, this has been awesome. It's been an awesome 3 hours. This has been one of my favorite shows we've done, to be honest. Even though it's just been me talking to myself and to you guys and having a great time. But thank you all immensely. Really appreciate you guys. And no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, I want to thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. Thank you guys for these comments. Like, thank you, Huckleberger. Appreciate that. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. 4 hours next week. I don't know if I can do that. I think I would probably like faint before we hit that point. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Really appreciate it. Time flies when you're having fun. Doesn't feel like 3 hours, but alas, it has been. Where could I have been in 3 hours? Assuming there was no traffic, I could have been by now, if I was driving. I'm in San Diego. I could have been, assuming there was no traffic, because it took me like 2 hours to get to LA. I could have been like probably like close to Bakersfield by now, if you know California geography. So assuming there was no traffic, there's always traffic. Who am I kidding? It's been a great 3 hours. But thank you guys very much. Bruce, your friend went to Disney yesterday and got the popcorn bucket. Love it. You guys, happy Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you next Friday. And until then, I will catch you on Instagram. Be sure to hit me up. And be well, be safe. May the force be with you. Be kind, spread positivity, spread love, and just be a force for good. And that will help. All of our little contributions will help to make the world a better place and a better galaxy too. You guys, thank you very much for watching Cantina Social Hour. I am out. I am out to have some lunch and then to, I don't know, work on my collection displays, I guess. But have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Yay, it worked. We got both of them. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much.